daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies.
Welcome back to another week with us here at Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
Howdy, I'm
and,
Silas.
and you're back with for another week with us. Uh, so yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. How has your week been?
That was horrible. Um,
That's good.
no,
Tell us
no,
about it.
yeah. No, man, it's pretty good. Getting really into my springing self. Doing taking on way too much at once. Typical springtime me. That I need to take on like 15-yard projects at the same time. So I've got some grass that I'm trying to grow in a certain part of the yard that Honey tore up whenever we brought her home. She so like it was a double-edged sword because we used to have moles real bad, and we brought her home, and she like was just kind of crazy, would like go to the mole holes and like literally watch them move, and then she would just dig like crazy, and then she would literally just toss up a mole and fucking chomp it and kill it. So she annihilated the whole yard's worth of moles. Like I haven't seen a mole hill in I don't know how long. So that's awesome. But now I've gotten like just craters everywhere in my yard, and it just looks like total shit. And like I don't know. I really love like a good looking yard, It's just one really old man thing about me that I just can't help. But so yeah, anyways, growing some grass, trying to repair the damage she did. Seems like it's kind of taken pretty well. We've had some really good, it's been a really decent spring. Last year was like really dry, super hot already by this point. So, it's nice to see that we're kind of sticking in the cooler temps and getting some rain. So I think that helps. But also got the garden going, growing like three different kinds of tomatoes and cabbage. And then in a raised bed, we've got cucumber, um, zucchini, and strawberries. So yeah,
Nice.
pretty excited about that, man. Yeah, I'm kind of like toning down on my garden this year. Like the last couple of years, like I haven't been gardening that long, like only two or three so far, but I've always done a decent job with tomatoes, so I'm pretty confident with those by now. But I always tried to take on way too much extra shit. Like I would till up the little garden space and try to put corn in there, a ton of corn, beans and tomatoes on top of that. And I think we did cabbage and broccoli, like all in this one small section. So, and then, I don't know, man, I always just try to do too much. I think I also had cucumber in there and zucchini. So it was like really tight. Whereas this year, I designated that same garden space. It's just like literally like a 20-foot by 20-foot box, boxed in for, it's like a smaller fenced in area that we use for it. But I'm just doing the tomatoes and cabbage in there this year, letting them have their space. And I tried this new method where I laid down cardboard flats, like from
Mm-hmm.
big packages and shit, I just basically broke them down and laid them out flat, and then um, it was like one of those internet hacks that Lex sent me that I seen, but in the video she sent me, they like had a shit ton of manure and compost that they like poured on top of their cardboard flats. Where I didn't really have that much or access to that much. I basically just bought it, so I didn't have like hundreds of dollars to throw into this shit. But anyways, I bought enough to kind of spread the length of it wise, but I still dug. Oh, I guess that's what I was getting at. Sorry, I'm like I'm all over the place right now, but um, they didn't dig holes, and they just literally planted their plants in that compost and soil on top of the cardboards. I actually dug a small hole for the plant to get its roots into, just because I wasn't sure if I had enough compost and soil on those flats. So anyways, I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, but it seems like they're all taken really well. Usually I've already had a plant or two die off on me, so, and I don't have any doing that right now. Yeah, man, just getting into my old man shit. Sorry to go off on a tangent there, but dude, I get so excited about gardening. I don't know
Did you get
if
your Arbor
are
Day
you a big
plants
garden
yet?
guy? Yeah, I did, dude. I did finally. I got them last week. So I got 5 Norway spruce trees, which are pines that can get real big, like 40 to 60 feet. I was like, oh shit. I know I have like literally less than a half acre plot, for to call my land, whatever. So it's not very big at all, but I do have a good sized chunk side yard that, I can kind of plant here and there stuff, smaller stuff. But in that package, I got 5 Norway spruce. They get real big. 2 crepe myrtle shrubs, a white dogwood tree, and then 2 redbud trees and a crabapple tree. And so I planted the crabapple, the dogwood, 2 redbuds, and the 2 crepe myrtles. And so they're all looking pretty good so far. I also made little small tiny fences for them just to kind of help, protect them when they're growing because they can be real sensitive to getting stepped on and shit at this point. But so yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, man, I'm excited about that. That's like one of those things that I'm not going to really see it for like another 10 years probably, but hopefully it'll pay off. I did not plant all the Norway spruce. I planted 3 and I gave my neighbor 2 of those and then another tree that it came with, but I was like, okay, I think we've kind of maxed out our space for trees on this property. So, but I do have 3 of them planted, but I kind of have them on my back side of the property, like on the literal border, just so, I have it clear power lines, clear of any threat to invade my water source, So, I just wanted to be real mindful of that because, you become a homeowner, you become a lot more aware of um, shit that can just really fuck up your systems and whatnot. So
Hmm.
that's the last thing I need is a root problem. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, that's most. Oh, I got my truck back.
Ah,
Yes, I know. Yeah. So 4 grand, and I showed up. They didn't really do extensive work, as extensive as I had hoped. So I was kind of let down, but at the same time, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm ready to get my truck back. So I think I got a little gypped. Um, they broke my tailgate handle and didn't even tell me, so now I couldn't even open my tailgate. Yeah, I was sorely disappointed. I was like, how in the fuck are you gonna break a tailgate handle and not tell someone? Like, you motherfuckers. And just so everyone knows, this is Prater Auto Body Works. So I'm not going to go to the lengths of leaving a Google review because I just, I don't have the time for that shit. But Prater Auto Body Works out of Eldon, Missouri. Do not send your vehicle to this shop because you'll probably regret it, like I did. Not fully regret it, but you'll kind of leave sad. So, um, with that being said, though, they did fix the major cosmetic issue that I had with the left side tailgate or my tail light and stuff. But I really wanted them to focus on like this right side fender, front fender area that was like jacked up and made this like little space between that and my bumper and I don't know. I'm just like real particular about that kind of shit. So whenever I dropped it off, I told them that's one of the things I want to fix. And like as soon as I go to get the truck, I inspect it and I see it like it's changed very little. So I was like, what the fuck, man? So like I walked inside, they're like, hey, did you look at the truck? I was like, yeah, looks good, but I noticed that right side front fender area kind of looks similar to how I dropped it off. And they're like, and then the mechanic, he was like sitting in the back. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, I fought with that thing for so long, and what that is your radiator support's busted, and it's totally out of position, and I fought with it forever just to get it looking as good as it does now. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm at a loss. So whatever. But my immediate thought was, okay, what's the radiator support? I literally asked him, I was like, what'd you say that part is? He's like, the radiator support. I was like, okay, and how much is that? And so they priced it for me right then and there, 120 something dollar part. And and I was like, okay. And like, you guys couldn't have called me and told me that, hey, there's this part that's busted under all this shit. Do you want us to fix it for an extra 120 something bucks?
Yeah, because what's
And
that to
then
the
she was like,
$4,000 bill at that
yeah, no
point?
shit. Yeah, exactly. And so then I was like, all right, and how long would that take to fix? She was like, oh, that's what would cost you. It's probably 7 to 8 hours of labor. And I was like, okay, what do you guys charge for labor? $95 an hour or something. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's so stupid, man. It's so dumb. Like, I get it. Like, they got to charge, it's 2025. You got to charge a decent labor rate. That's like any mechanic shop nowadays. But I'm just sitting here thinking, you motherfuckers were so close to that area of the truck. Like, would it really have been that much more difficult for you to just take a few bit more pieces off here, replace that piece that I kind of wanted you to fix in the first place, and then put it all back together? Like, yeah. So I think I got gypped. Um, kind of looked like a lazy bastard when I dropped the truck off. But whatever. It is what it is. Got my truck back, and it's street legal. So that's what matters. No more getting pulled over for stupid tail light out and shit like that. And yeah, man, onward to new things. Onward to fixing more shit on it. I've noticed that. Well, I've got to do an oil change, but I feel like my brakes still just aren't 100% there. But you know, with time, I can get that shit done. So yeah.
I gotcha.
Sorry, man. Anyways,
You're good.
how's your week?
Been good, very busy. Finally done with AT. Now I just have this regular week of work. But I have Thursday and Friday off, so tomorrow's my Friday, so that'll be nice.
Sweet.
Finally get
Hell
to
yeah.
have some time off, 4 day weekend. Other than
That's
that,
nice.
uh, finally got a chicken coop up and built. It's
Oh,
finally
sweet.
standing structure and got their little nesting boxes kind of got a couple of them screwed up a little bit higher so they can actually like because chickens like to be off the ground so they can actually get in there and lay eggs if they want to. They're still not yet. We just found Danny found about 10 eggs in the garage in a corner somewhere.
Oh
So
my
they're still
gosh.
not there yet, but I think it has to do with so I kind of fucked up cuz not all it's not a perfect square or a rectangle. So I think when I laid it, I didn't lay it the right way I measured it. So like the metal sheets are go like a full like 6 inches above where I set the frame at. So I'm gonna have to build a new roof. So right now it's a four walls and an opening door, but no roof. And I think that's part of the reason why they don't want to spend too much time in there because
Uh,
it's still the elements. So I
yeah.
just need to get some flat sheet wood, and then I still have some leftover wood. I can build the actual like steeple part. Put some hinges on it, screw on the sheet wood, and bada bing, bada boom, I have a roof.
Hell yeah.
So gonna get that done some point this weekend.
So
Got
it's
four
not
days to do it
OSHA
now.
approved.
I mean, it's farmland approved. It's a
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah. No, that's good enough. I'm sure they'll do just fine.
Yeah, we did lose another duckling. So we had to go replace
Oh,
that. We don't know what happened. I think it was some
want,
kind of
want.
neurological thing. Because it was
Oh,
fine for a while, but then it started
shit.
like having troubles walking. Like it kept flipping over on its back, even just standing. I tried to
Oh, no,
wash
no.
it a little bit, put a towel around it because it was shaking like it was cold. So wrapped it up a little bit, held it in front of the heater for a little bit, then put it back and it seemed fine for about a day. Came home the next day. It was fine. Danny said, I'm going to the gym. She leaves to the gym. It's still alive. She comes back and says, "Hey guys, let's go outside." And then just for a walk. Okay. And we all go outside, and as soon as we look in, the duck is flopped over dead. Uh,
Damn.
so it was weird. I don't know what
Huh.
happened with it, but went and
That
replaced
is
it.
weird.
We've already decided if another one dies, we're not replacing it because these ducks. It's something about ducks. Ducks are so much harder than chickens because the chickens have been fine this entire time.
Sounds like you have a lethal duck pond there, man. Do you
Well,
have like a? It's not
these are
like
the
your sewage
ducklings.
pond, is it?
No, these are the just the ducklings. They're just in like a brooder kit.
Oh, okay.
So they're not. They still have to be like have a heat lamp and
Oh, I
everything.
see.
They have to be isolated because I'm also
Huh.
worried the adult ducks might kill them since they're still so small.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't, I don't know how adult ducks are with ducklings that aren't theirs. I don't know if it's one of those things like that's not my genes. I'm gonna kill the
Yeah.
competition kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that brooding, it's, I don't know about ducks, but I think it's pretty normal with chickens. You get like six of them that you probably get like two that die. I don't know.
yeah.
That's just what I would think. But
I don't know. I feel like, but statistically, what I've been seeing is we've been having way more issues with ducks because I think we've lost one chicken and we don't even know what happened to it. It's just went missing one day.
oh, wow.
But ducks, we've gone through uh two we originally bought died. We replaced them with extra ones, and then an extra one. One flew away, and then we got these new batch of ducks, and two have already died. So altogether, we've lost five ducks, and we've
Jeez.
lost one chicken.
Damn. How much do ducks cost?
They're not expensive. Usually, like a duckling's anywhere from $5 to $10, depending on the breed and where you
Oh,
buy from.
yeah, that ain't too bad.
And we got two of them for free from a coworker because he has like this whole huge chicken and duck farm. He also has like 50 turkeys, some goats.
Hmm.
So just like, hey, I heard you have some ducks. You won't mind getting rid of some? Yeah, sure. Because at the time, our one female duck died, and we had a male duck. And it's supposedly if there's no female ducks, but you have a male duck, but a bunch of female chickens, the duck will start fucking the chickens, and
Whoa.
that could kill them because the duck has like a corkscrew shaped penis, and it will tear them
Oh,
up. So you want a female duck in there. Otherwise, you're gonna have
that's
just
crazy.
pretty much the elements of a slam metal band album kind of going on in your
Yeah,
back farmyard.
it'd be like a ducking
Yeah, the
or
duckening. Just
or
like
or a,
the
or
peeling
a
flesh
chuck.
song, the fuckening.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Well, Jeff the Duck Man,
I don't know.
moving
I
on to
prefer
duckier
chickens.
pastures.
I prefer the chickens so much better. They're awesome. I love the chickens. They're so much easier. They actually let me pick them up from time to time. They kind of, you've seen, everyone's seen Jurassic Park. Imagine like just that how the T Rex runs, but it's a chicken. That's pretty much just how they walk all the time. It's awesome. I love the chickens.
Yeah, kind of like dinosaur kindred.
Mm-hmm. I go out there to feed them. They all get excited and run toward me. So it's like a flock of little tiny T Rexes just coming to eat some
Yeah.
pellets.
Nice. Do you have like a setup for their feed and stuff? I've been seeing all these like Pinterest setups for chicken coops, and it looks like you could just take like you make it out of like PVC and shit like that.
That's what I was wanting to do. I was actually thinking about doing that when I go pick the sheet wood up, is getting some PVC pipe because that'd be the easiest way. Because right now all I'm doing is I'm getting have like this old Tupperware container. I'll just scoop up a bunch of feed and I'll put it wherever and they'll just pick it off the ground. I've been putting it in the chicken coop to get them more comfortable with it, to remember this is home. But
Mm.
yeah, I want to do the PVC pipe because that way I could also mix in other feeds because you're also supposed to do like mix in some like what's it called? Not scratch, but some other kind of like feed thing for their digestive system. So having two different food options is, I think, would be easiest, and also that way I don't have to feed them every single day. I could just have to make sure the PVC pipe is full.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, man. Sounds fun.
Oh yeah. I recommend
Have you
everyone get chickens.
have you mowed yet?
No, my father-in-law actually takes care of that. I don't really have to worry
Oh,
too much about it.
nice.
It's pretty nice.
Damn. That
I
is
do not
nice.
miss it. Although I do miss
Yeah.
being able to dad flex talk about my lawn mowing shoes.
Mm-hmm. I love a fresh cut lawn, man. Nothing
Yeah.
looks better.
It is always
I've
nice when
got
you're done looking out and the smell of it and just feeling like, yeah, have a nice beer.
hell yeah. Nothing like it. Yeah, I got a half mowed lawn right now. It's kind of driving me crazy, but I'm just avoiding that grass that I'm trying to grow with the mower. I'm not going to hit it yet because it's not near 3 inches. It's like literally just now starting to sprout. So, but yep,
Understandable.
good old man shit.
Yeah. I always had that half lawn issue, but it was mostly because it was finding time to mow the lawn because I would have all the kids wanting me at that point. So I'd either get the front yard done or the backyard. So no matter what, it wouldn't be perfect. But back at the old house, it was fenced off, so no one could really see both at the same time. But it's just knowing that, all right, either the backyard's a jungle or their front yard looks like shit. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You ready to talk about some new music?
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly playlist. Weekly.
So let's just, start off with some of the singles. In fact, we are probably going to talk about a single that's not on this playlist because it just came out today, but I'll save that for the end of the singles.
Hell yeah.
First up for singles, we have the new single teasing a new album from the band Shadow of Intent. This song is called Feeding the Meat Grinder, featuring the one and only Corpse Grinder.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited when I saw it because also this album artwork is fucking sick. It has a very death
It
metal
looks so
vibe. From what I understand,
Yeah.
this is Dan Seagrave, very famous death metal album artist.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, This was an awesome song. Something I did notice I kind of liked more, uh, and we've kind of talked about you. I know this is especially a gripe you have with these symphonic deathcore bands, kind of thing, is that it seems like they really rely heavily on the like samples and backing tracks. To where this one feels
Mhm.
like there's a lot more riffage, and the backing tracks are still there, but they're
Right.
not as pronounced as Shadow Intent is usually known for. And I love the Corpse Grinder. I feel like he fits to where you have to really be paying attention to figure out he's in there. What'd you think of this single?
Yeah, dude, I thought it was killer, man. I mean, I like Shadow of Intent because even though they might be in that classification of the symphonic deathcore, I feel like they're not really overabundant with it like other bands. They
Hmm.
do have some sample songs here and there that are really sample heavy or synth heavy, but they also have great songs that hide it, really well too. Like one of my favorites is Intensified Genocide, and it's really because it's just a fucking vocal domination performance from Ben Dur. Like that song is insane. He's got crazy speed, crazy flow, badass patterns, man. But this song, it's right up there with it. Like I think it's really good, and yeah, you hit the nail on the head when it's not synth heavy, it's not synth dominant. It's more the song's based by the riffage, which I really like that. So yeah, I agree with what you said there, but Corpse Grinder, yeah, it's awesome. I'm also like feeding the meat grinder. Why didn't they just say feeding the corpse grinder? Like that would have been cool, but I don't know. No, it's tight, man. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, badass art.
Hell yeah. Up next, we have a single from Heaven Shall Burn from their upcoming album Heimat that we talked about last episode. This song is called My Revocation of Compliance. And it sounds like Heaven Shall Burn is kind of going back to political stuff, kind of like they did, I think, with Iconoclast a little bit. This is I really enjoyed this. This is probably the best thing I've heard from Heaven Shall Burn in a while. Very awesome, heavy, uh, political, gets you going. Uh, what do you think of this one?
I did not listen to this one. I
I
actually
gotcha.
missed it, so I
I gotcha.
apologize.
Yeah, this one it gets me excited for Heaven Shall Burn again. Because I really loved Vito, when they came out with that album Wanderer, I wasn't really interested at all. To where when they came out with Of Purpose and Sacrifice, I think it's called, I was kind of excited, but I still didn't give it a full chance because Wanderer left such a bland taste in my mouth. But this one, it's to where their past couple albums have been more like soundscape-ish. This is more like heavy, ripping, and more of like ferocity. So it sounds like they're pissed off politically, and I'm all for this version of Heaven Shall Burn. So it has me excited.
Hell yeah.
Up next, we have so a couple episodes ago we talked about one of the German Big Four's band Destruction's new album. We have another German Big Four band coming out announcing a new album, and that is the legendary band Sodom. Personally, my favorite of the Big Four in Germany. Their new album is going to be called The Arsonist. Pre-orders should be up now, and this song is called Trigger Discipline. This was a lot more different than I'm used to. I do like Sodom. I'm familiar with a couple like albums like Agent Orange, M16, Persecution Mania, and their most recent one, Genesis something. But this is I've never heard him do this style of vocals. It sounds almost exactly like Slayer, like
Huh.
to a T, except for the
Wow.
end. It kind of goes back into his normal vocals, but I still love this song. It's pretty cool. Has me excited for obviously the new Sodom album called The Arsonist. What are your
Nice.
thoughts on this one? Did you get to this one?
I did not. I didn't do this one either. Sorry.
I gotcha. Well, check it out. This is Trigger Discipline by Sodom for their upcoming album, The Arsonist. Um, up
Fucking
next,
Sodom.
up next we have two
I wonder if they
singles.
say that over there.
Fucking Sodom. It's because they do kind of remind me a little bit like this is the German Big Four's version of Slayer. Although I feel like Creator kind of has that too.
Hmm. Yeah, true. I could do that. Creator
Yeah.
just I don't know. They just capture such cornball vibes, though. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
to
hear
an
it and I
extent.
like it, but then like if I watch the video, like the video for Hordes of Chaos is like so weird. It's like these big ass buff oiled down dudes that are just like fucking fighting with swords and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's up, chaos?
I don't know. I like it when
It's
they
just
kind of do the more satanic stuff in Creator, like Enemy of God. Like that's a cool song. I can't remember if it's a song or the album. And then also their first album, I forget what it's called, but it's the one with the demon tackling the guy on top of the pile of skulls. Can't forget what it's called. I don't know. I like it when they're more the satanic, more Slayer aligned,
you know, more dark and evil.
evil darkness.
All
Yeah.
right.
Up next, we have two new singles from Necrogoblikon teasing their new album. I don't know what's called, but they're teasing a new album. And this is also going to be the first album with their new vocalist,
What? Wow.
Dickie Allen from Infant Annihilator.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow. Damn,
Dickie
that actually
Allen
makes
is
perfect sense.
Dickie Allen is now the new lead vocalist of Necrogoblikon with their mascot, I think Johnny Goblin. I can't remember his name. The guy dressed up like the Goblin does the clean vocals now.
Oh,
So he's no longer
okay.
just like a mascot hype man. He's actually now doing the clean singing. while Dickie does the goblin voice. Um,
Whoa.
so
Okay,
these are the
that's
new
interesting.
singles, Show Me Your Goblin and Fiend. As excited I am.
The artwork's sick, dude.
Oh yeah. I do think they have a cool vibe, cool idea. But something about these singles, like I love the idea of having Dickie Allen in this. However, I'm not super into these singles. I don't know. I feel like it's too unbalanced. Like I feel like I need more Dickie just coming out. It feels like he's a little buried and there's a little too much of the cleans. And also I feel like Dickie's kind of a little buried a little. He needs to be louder. And he needs to show off those deep growls a lot more. He stays a lot on the
Fuck yeah.
highs, which he does a great job. He has fantastic highs. But part of Dickie's appeal is, yes, his highs, but it's his whole range. He has deep ass, heavy ass lows, and then the pig sounding high squeals that kind of is very Lorna
Yeah.
Shore-ish before Lorna Shore
Right.
started doing it. But hopefully these are just this isn't the showcasing what the new album is going to be. Hopefully there's just some songs that are just kind of showing us, and then hopefully we get a little bit more Dickie in our lives.
Hmm.
Did you check out these
Yeah,
ones?
I just peeped the Show Me Your Goblin now, and yeah, it's definitely like the clean vocal heavy, almost like power metal-y. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
weird. But I've never been a big Necrogoblicon listener. I haven't ever seen them live, so I don't really know a lot about them. I don't really know what they are like typically through an album, but imagining Dickie doing the vocals, man, I mean, yeah, he can definitely bring some heavy shit. So, I mean, I've heard a song that's, of theirs previously that's been heavy. So I think he fits that role perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could totally rock those vocals. But yeah, I agree. I wish that he would kind of be a more prominent voice in what I just heard. But yeah, man, that album art is just fucking crazy. I just now realized though, like it's like a goblin, like in a pool of what looks like green acid. It looks like the ship's like his dong. I don't know if that's intentional or
I don't know. I know they do really good artwork to where it's very detailed. They have one who is like the
crazy.
anatomy, like an old school anatomy photo of like a goblin, like his
Huh.
insides and everything. And it was still wacky and funny, but still kind of cool, very detailed. They do a good job with
Yeah,
their album artwork. I do
yeah, that's
kind of
pretty sick.
the vibe I get from this band is kind of a similar vibe I get from 12 Foot Ninja, kind of the wackiness, but to where 12 Foot Ninja is more of like gent and progressive. Necro Goblicon's more strictly like thrash, but still that wackiness. They still did they did a Chop Suey cover, and it was still Necro Goblicon wackiness.
Hmm.
So I kind of get that vibe from him, which is cool. And I think Dickie could do wacky, but I don't know if he really fits that much with that kind of wacky. I feel like he needs a little bit more heaviness. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Interesting
the,
though.
that's the new singles Fiend and Show Me Your Goblin by Necro Goblicon. Up next, we talked a little bit about last episode. Did you check out the new single by Behemoth called Luciferian?
I did.
What's
Yeah,
your thoughts?
it's pretty sick, man. I think I definitely dig it. I dig this route more than see like the previous couple albums vibes is still lingering, it's still there, but it definitely sounds like they've been kind of re-inspired to go a heavier style again, a more technical
Mm-hmm.
style again. So that's definitely got me excited. Um, Nurgle's still kind of taking this real raw vocal approach. Like even the takes, it sounds like, there's some parts that like he's just doing raw takes, man, and just like, nope, that's it. Let's stick with it. Whenever, I feel like maybe it could have been a little bit more meticulous and or, redone them a couple times to perfect it, but whatever. I mean, that's just me being nitpicky. But I think it's cool, man. Gets me excited for their new release.
Yeah, absolutely. It does get me more excited because I feel you probably had the same feeling as me when the Shit of God came out because there's a lot of hype for it. Came out, I was like, it's just the same
Yeah.
stuff. Then Shadow Elite came out, I was like, ooh, okay, there's this kind of stuff on here. And Luciferian kind of feels kind of that middle ground between the two, a little bit closer to Shadow Elite. It's still not up to snuff with like their older stuff, but it still feels like they're at least moving in the right direction instead of furthering into the wrong direction.
Yeah. I definitely dig it, man. I think the shit of God is, yeah, I just don't really know that I care for the lyrics and the vocal work in that one, but man, it's a really catchy riff
Hmm.
and beat on that chorus in that song. It is good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the album though.
Yeah, it'll be good. We'll see how it goes. Before we move on to the next thing, I'm gonna get a hoodie. It's cold up here.
Okay. And three, two, one, and
Hello.
now back to the show. Oh, hi, Jeff.
Oh, hi.
How's it going?
Oh, just a little cold.
I can see your shorts are pretty tight.
Yeah,
Oh man.
there we go. Okay. Yeah, these shorts. Danny got me these shorts, couple and two other pairs. They're a little higher up because she was giving me shit. I guess it's not the cool thing to have your shorts go below your knees anymore, like it used to be. So she got
Yeah.
me these new shorts.
Yeah, they've went the other way fashionably. So you got to have them just 2 inches below your balls, where your
Yeah,
balls rest.
yeah. I mean, they're actually pretty
Maybe an
comfy.
inch. Yeah.
I
No,
did
I,
notice.
I,
Go ahead.
I was referencing the cold temperature, saying that you had like a shriveled wiener. I could see him.
Hmm.
It was a joke,
I
though.
mean,
Yeah.
it's always like that. But when
Oh, okay.
you got me these shorts, I tried them on. Apparently, they make my ass look good. I don't know, whatever. What I noticed yesterday, though, is that the gray ones, because I work out at the work gym, and so I was
Mhm.
just getting ready for the day, put on these shorts, was getting ready, and looked in the mirror, was like, oh no, how these are. I looked
Sweat lines.
down. No, it was just a straight up outline of of my dick. It's like, well, I guess I'm going to work like this. Everyone's just gonna
That's
see.
Yeah, that's a fun day at work, man. It's just
Yeah,
like that's when you watch people's eyes to see if they see what you're packing.
it's a good dominance way. It's like someone's arguing with you, just wear the shorts.
I
Got
like a great pair of pants or shorts that really accentuate down there, because I feel like, the guys don't really get that a lot. Our clothes really aren't meant for that. It's like the women's clothes are meant to,
yeah.
tight around here, tight on the ass. And so, it's like they always get to enjoy that. But like us guys, it's just like, here's your fucking pants. And, that's it. It's
Here's
like,
your
these
square
aren't meant to,
clothes.
yeah, these aren't meant to look good. These go here. These go on your body. Like,
Well, is
okay,
that more
thank
of a
you.
guy
But
thing though? I feel like it's guys against guys
yeah,
where like they call each other
true.
out, like, "Where the fuck you wearing skinny jeans, bruh?" Kind of
Yeah, that
shit.
is true. Yeah. I still have skinny jeans, and I gotta say that's like some of the only jeans that I have left. So like I feel like I'm starting to get odd looks in public, and I feel like I'm looking odd because it's like I think I'm kind of definitely past the time of skinny jean era, but I mean at the same time I kind of find them comfy too, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have some that are close to it, but now that I
I
have
just hate that.
boots, it's hard
Yeah, you
to
can't wear boots with it.
no.
Or you
I mean,
or
you
you look
could,
like
but
a
you'd walk
maniac.
around looking like Woody from Toy Story because with your boots, with your jeans tucked in your boots.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. But anyways, yeah, short shorts. They are comfortable. I borrowed a pair of my brother-in-law's um, for a function or something. I don't know. I was in a spot where I needed some shorts, and he was there to lend me his. I was like, dude, you're way shorter than me. Thought they were going to be way small, but they actually fit my waist. I think it was a good skinny year for me, and I wore them that one day. They were great, but now I've kind of, fluctuated in size. I've gotten a little tighter, and they are very small, and they're pretty high shorts. So I don't know that I'm going to be donning those this year. We'll see. But
I've also I noticed when wearing them, I'm more happy with wanting to do leg day. Like the first time I wore them going to the gym was like it's fucking leg day. God damn it. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I'll just do something else. And then I started walking around, I was like, oh no, I can see my quads. I need to work on those. Like it gets me more
oh,
excited
nice.
to want to do
Okay.
leg day. So I feel like it's
Yeah.
that extra push since they're more
Well,
visible now.
I feel like, basketball shorts or like the baggy gym shorts, like you just kind of look fucking slobbish. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
I feel that way whenever I wear them, anyways. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I don't know. I do think that I lean more high short than low short.
Yeah.
I'm not full blown high short yet, but there's definitely pros to it. I
Hmm.
gotta say.
Yeah. You kind of look more put together instead of like I can still go to
Yeah,
the grocery store or a gas station to where if I
yeah,
wear the old baggy shorts, kind of look like I just rolled out of bed, kind of stuff.
right. Yeah, like you just don't care. Yeah,
Hmm. But anyways, there's this new Ghost song that came out.
yeah. Sorry to
I think
interrupt.
I think it's correct me on the pronunciation. Is it lacrima or is it lacrima?
Like I would probably say lacrima, but and I would probably emphasize the cream in it. But no, I'm just kidding. Um, no, yeah, I don't know. Lacrima, I guess. Sounds more right than lacrima.
Yeah, I
Lacrima.
kept wanting to call it lacrima, but then I started thinking, it's like, no, I'm gonna be wrong, and someone's gonna be like, it's a ch. When in your life do you call it cr besides Christ?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Christ Christ.
Speaking of Christ, this new Ghost song is
Wow.
out,
Yeah,
and
true.
I
Nice.
actually
Nice
kind of
transition.
I kind of enjoy this one a little bit. It kind of has more of the
Yeah.
older sound, more of a almost like ghost like, even with the vocals, kind of ghost-ish. And when I say ghost, I don't mean the band Ghost, like an actual like haunted spirit kind of
Spooky vibes.
yeah, and very almost like 70ish or 80s rock. Like it sounds
Yeah.
very it doesn't sound like the whole arena rock that they were doing with like Impera or with Prequel. It sounds
Yeah.
closer and more in line with like Meliora, or even maybe in a little, not quite as as what Ephesimom was. 'Cause I felt like that was a little bit more heavier and grimier, but it's still. I kind of like this direction that they're going, both with Satan Eyes and Lacrima. What was your thoughts on this one?
I agree, man. I'm digging it. It's the last album, I would be on the teeter-totter of being a Ghost fan. It's like with this band, it's like I'm on that teeter-totter all the time because I feel like the last couple albums have just kind of fell short for me, and I just really wasn't a Ghost fan in that era. But this album, I really feel like I can come back to being a Ghost fan, and like the music's getting me excited to hear it again. It's like I would definitely contemplate going to see them again
Hmm.
with this. And did you see the new get up of the Papa Emeritus,
I
the
feel like I
fourth or
have, but I
whatever the
don't
fuck they're
remember
on
too
now?
well.
It's interesting. It's definitely like he's straying from the whole Pope look for sure.
Okay.
Just kind of fucking doing different shit now. But
Hmm.
it still looks pretty wicked. I don't know. There's something interesting that appearance doesn't come anywhere near to matching the sound.
Oh yeah.
I find that so interesting about this
That's
band.
that's
But
always been them.
I know, yeah, that has always definitely been the case. But so is this the same Papa Emeritus? I mean, Tobias Forge, right?
Hmm.
Ghost is Tobias Forge, right? That's pretty much
Yeah.
still his thing. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I thought that I seen a headline saying that this was a new vocalist, but I'm almost thinking that I probably seen a new Papa Emeritus, whatever is
Yeah.
probably what I ended up seeing.
I think that's more just the whole uh not gimmick. Well, yeah, it's gimmick, but it's more like the whole like
Kind of
lore of the
changes.
band.
Yeah, it kind of changes like every album, right?
Yeah, because I remember even with Infestimum, they did a whole Papa Emeritus without his makeup but it was just Tobias Forge with like an old man like prosthetics on, but no
Right.
makeup. And they're
Yeah.
talking about like he knows his time is limited because we're gonna have to come out with a new album and replace him because we replace our vocalist every album,
Yeah.
but it's been Tobias Forge every album, and he's the only consistent member.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I've seen something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Like it is a gimmick, but it's I don't know. I feel like they're so good at doing a gimmick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's it's hard in my opinion, they're kind of hard to hate. Like they're hated, don't get me wrong, but for me, they're kind of hard to hate, man. I feel like they're doing
Mm-hmm.
really good. Like
Yeah.
he's they got a good thing going for it.
And I don't
Great
feel
theme.
like the gimmick is really bad in any way. I feel like it adds kind of like a lore and it kind of makes it more fun. We all kind of play along with it a little bit. We all know it's
Yeah.
not real, but it
Right.
makes
It's
it
like these
fun.
positive, it sounds positive, but it still kind of kicks ass like in the tunes and stuff. But then like the lyrics are real dark, you know, it's always like
Mm-hmm.
real dark material. I love that. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Getting us excited for new Ghost.
No doubt.
Yeah, that comes out later this month. Obviously, we're gonna have to cover it. Yeah, we got two new songs from him. We got Satan Eyes from a couple of weeks ago, and now we got this new one, Lacrima. Check it out from
Trema.
Ghost. Up next for singles, the Callous Boys dropped another song. This one's called "Distracted by the Mona Lisa," and I'm just gonna be straightforward. I do love the Callous Boys, but I am not really into this song nor the previous song, the Lemon Song. I feel like
Mm.
this song has been the most emo pop punk sound they could have kind of sound like not really pop punk, but like the whole like 2000s emo sound. Like it's very in line with that. Every now and then a cool mathy riff kind of pops its head, but this song is I'm just not into it. Did you listen to this one?
I did not. I'm not really on these dudes' train yet. I think I've heard one song that you maybe sent me, but I haven't really. I skipped on some of the singles this week, so no, I didn't
I
really go
gotcha.
out of my way to listen to this one.
You're not missing much with this one. I think for any other band it would be okay, but the fact that it's Cal Boys, it makes me worried that they're going to go down this route. He does have a good voice. I'll give him that. This isn't what I love about Cal Boys. I like the craziness. I like the abrasiveness. I like the going back and forth between the screaming and the singing. And this is the second single in a row where it's just been singing and prettiness, and I'm not too fond of it, but we'll see how the new album comes out. That should be coming out soon. I think it's called "I Don't Want to See You in Heaven," coming out soon. This is the new single from that. Check it out. It's called "Distracted by the Mona Lisa." Yeah,
Nice.
that's it for the singles on the playlist. But there's another single that came out today that I think we
Oh
both kind of
man.
want to talk about, and that
Hell
is,
yes.
and it kind of ties into metal news because this is a band we've talked about a lot. We even did a discography thing with them, and that is the legendary tech death giants Cryptopsy announcing their new album coming out later this summer,
Oh
Insatiable
yeah.
Violence, and the new song There Is Nothing Left, I think.
Yes, correct. Well, hang on. Um, I think so. Until nothing is left, or something like that. Loading. Yeah, until there's nothing left.
Yeah. What'd
New
you think?
Cryptopsy.
What'd you think of this new single?
Dude, it jams. It is a badass song, badass jam. And it was interesting because it's more like with Cryptopsy, there's always this chaos, like pretty
Mm-hmm.
abruptly, and the song kind of starts like Cryptopsy starts. You know, it's their song just and like vocals all at once. Um, but it's badass, man. It starts chaos, but it was interesting because I feel like it gets more classically structured as a song the more it goes on. Like I felt
Mhm.
like there was parts where that are easily identifiable as a chorus, verse, well, yada
Mhm.
yada, and it seems more structured that way than kind of other shit they've done. That's just seems like they're doing crazy shit all the time. I feel like I'm just I don't know, not the best description maybe, but this song is badass, man. I did notice. I thought it was interesting also that with this song, I could really hear a relation between Cryptopsy and Carnifex. I don't know if maybe
Ooh,
you
okay.
thought that, but vocally, I could definitely see that in this song. And I don't know if that's just my mind kind of making that connection because they just did a big tour together, or if maybe that tour had an influence on Matt McGotchy's vocal work in the studio whenever, he went to record this. But I just felt like I could really hear a connection there. And I just thought that was interesting. But I think, particularly, I don't know, it seemed like the screams and some of the growls even kind of sound like Carnifex's style. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. What do you
Yeah.
think of it, man?
I loved it. I mean, I just love Cryptopsy. And like you said, it comes in crazy. I was getting a little worried because it seemed like he was staying low for a little bit, but then he just throws in the random high all of a sudden. Because that's the kind of thing I like about him. And
I
just this
know.
band, just you don't know where the vocals are going to go. But one thing, and I'm glad you bring up the vocals. This is probably the first time I've actually been on the first listen, been able to understand the lyrics as he's saying
Yeah,
it,
what
which
he's
I don't think I've
saying.
ever been able to actually do on a first
He's very
listen. Usually it
clear.
takes a couple. Yeah. So I do
Yeah.
think that's a little interesting. And I do think maybe it is possibly an influence of touring, or it's just maybe the production is getting that much clearer, or if he's just, I don't know what is causing that. I'm not complaining. I kind of would like to know more about what they're talking about on the first listen instead of
Yeah.
having to listen multiple times or go to the lyric sheet, whatever it is. But yeah,
Hmm.
it does get me excited for this new album. I've already started looking at pre-orders possibly and some merch. I'm very excited. New Cryptopsy.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Isn't that fucking album art sick as hell too?
Oh yeah.
I love that it looks like kind of like an indie band's work, or an
Hmm.
underground band's, album art. Like it doesn't look like it's this like top tier fucking record label
Hmm.
artist I mean, it's great, I'm not saying like the quality is diminished, but it's an awesome album cover. It's got crazy detail. It just looks like it's got like a creepy skull guy and all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, it's metal as hell, but I don't know, maybe it's just like the simple lettering of an insatiable violence. Um, I don't know. Looks awesome though, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
and I like that they put the artist name there in the lower right corner. I think that's cool
Hmm.
as hell.
Yeah.
Give him the credit that's due.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I
sick.
do like it when they do it. Like I know Lamb of God's cover artist likes it. I don't know if the band has him do it or if he just does it on his own. The K3N guy, he likes to just put it in the art itself somewhere. I really like
Oh,
that.
okay.
So I kind of do. I didn't notice it until you pointed it out on this one. Yeah, I do like that. Kind of give credit where credit is due.
For sure.
But I do like this color choice, the color palette of this, and just the whole how everything does kind of blend very well together. It
Hmm.
has me excited, and I have looked at also the hoodies for this because it has the back as that album art, and
Oh, that's sick.
debating on getting it.
Yeah, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and pre-order this new album and Insatiable Violence by Cryptopsy coming out this summer. Just go ahead and do it. Check it out.
Yeah, might as
And their
well.
new single, Until There's Nothing Left. You're not going to regret it. Yeah, that's all the singles. Um, it's time to move on to full lengths. And
Ooh.
before we get to all the full lengths, we have to pick our top ones. However, I feel like we're both going to have the same one, probably.
Yeah, I have a pretty good feeling.
So I'll let you go ahead and start. What's your top album pick for this week's playlist?
Cytotoxin Biography.
Yes.
Absolutely badass album, man. Did not disappoint by any means. Like, I think this is top tier production quality that this band's ever done. I think this is probably my favorite sound of all their albums, which is great, man. I mean, it's so killer. And they, from track to track to track, full, all the way through from start to finish, this album just fucking punches, man. It is fast. It never slows down, which I think is really cool. Usually, even though they're a tech band, usually you're going to get, kind of a slower jam here and there, maybe. But no, this band is like, if there's a song on it where they're playing instruments, it's tech and it's going. And so it's just like kind of like this fast train, man. And before you know it, the album's over with. And I'm like, damn. But it is so good, dude. The singles Crush, Hope Terminator, Condemnesia, and I think it was Biographyte. But then there's other ones deep in the album. Transition of the Staring Dead was a really good one. From Bitter Rivers, the song the album ends with. Even the interlude track is just, they give those really cool vibes. They have the fucking radiation monitor thing, sound, which is super badass. I love it, dude. I love it. It's Cytotoxin back in full force, and did not disappoint, dude. What was your thoughts?
I very much enjoy this. The first listen through, I wasn't super impressed, but the more I listened to it, it's like, I loved it. And I was actually having troubles getting through this playlist because I kept going back to this album. It is an amazing album. And one thing I did notice, I feel like this album has a lot of origin influences in it as well. Because I feel like especially the opener, Hope Terminator, I didn't really catch it when it was a single. Like I listened to the song, but I didn't catch the. It feels like this song is very reminiscent of, I forget what the name of the song is from Origin, with the quick sweeps opening the song, just keeps on going, kind of the cascading feel. And then also specifically in the song from Bitter Rivers, the ending song, had very much of a Origin Soligia vibe, the crushingness of it. This was an awesome album from top to bottom. Behind Armored Doors is a great song. I love the Dead Zone Desert, keeping that Dead Zone kind of transition track in every album. Because I was wondering how are they going to incorporate a desert when this is supposed to be Chernobyl based, and there's no desert in Ukraine that I'm aware of, but it still fits perfectly. I also love the song Eventless Horizon, both because it's an awesome crushing song, but also it's an awesome title. Then also you brought up the song Revelation with the old Russian guy kind of talking and the radiation. And he's also sounds like he's quoting from the Bible of the apocalypse of the seven angels sounding the seven trumpets. Oh, it gave such a great vibe. I love this is an awesome album, and I can see this probably being on album of the year at some part of the list. Was an amazing album.
Yeah, I gotta second that, man. I think it's definitely going to be in the top 10, probably. Definitely kick-ass album. And so there's like a secret message in this album, and if someone gets it, they get a package from I think Cytotoxin or the vocalist. I don't know. I follow the vocalist on Instagram, and this was the post, and it's there is a secret on the new album, a message hidden in one song. If you find it, you will get a unique Cytotoxin package from me. That's from the vocalist. So people started taking their guesses to the comments. Not even that many on here, only 13, but one of them said, I think the hidden message is in Revelation. The spoken text covers Revelation 8 from the Bible. 7 angels, 7 trombones, or I think it's trumpets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trombones to this guy. But 1/3 of the water gets bitter, 1/3 of the sun, moon and stars darken. This fits perfectly with Chernobyl, this guy says. The 4th angel symbolically represents Reactor 4. The contamination of the water and the fallout are reflected in the biblical visual language. The numbers in the text tell the catastrophe, but packaged as an apocalyptic metaphor. I don't know if he's right. he's got some likes on here from that, but I don't know. I thought that was the coolest guess. So the vocalist never confirms if he got that right or not. But if you think you may know what that secret is, go over to Grim O Cytotoxin on Insta and take your shot. But yeah, man, I think it's a badass album. And I also noticed that on the album art, I don't know that this is a secret, but like on his back looks like like some sort of nuclear reactor or something. Like, what do you think that is? Like,
I think that is
and
what it's
he's
supposed to be, and that's what I was a little
okay.
confused of with this album art. Like, is he supposed to be a giant, or is that supposed to be like he's carrying the weight of everything that Reactor 4 from Chernobyl did to him? I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think, okay, here, I'll take my shot at what the secret is. So if this ever gets to Cytotoxin, which I doubt it will, but it reminds me of in the God of War video games, how you go to that one level and there's the Titan and he's just crawling on his back and he's got the chains and shit like that. But on his back isn't it like a whole level that you have to go through?
Yeah, I think, is that Gaia?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's like the Earth Titan or whatever, and yeah, there's like a whole. I don't know if it's a whole level. I think that might have been God of War 2. I know on 3, when you're climbing up Olympus, there's a whole like bunch of fights you have to do on Gaia, and that on his back and stuff.
Huh. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's the Russian Gaia or something like that. Nuclear Gaia.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I was a little worried about this album coming out because I don't know about you, but I felt like just not including us, because I felt like we talked about this album a lot, but I felt like there was almost zero hype coming into this album. No, it didn't seem like anyone was talking about it. It didn't feel like they were promoting it that much. Did you get that vibe at all?
I mean, I don't know. I follow him on Instagram, so I seen him pretty frequently. The problem that I had was I felt like the what do you call it, promotion of the album, like it was really drawn out. Like I think they announced this album the beginning of the year, if not like late of last year almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
That's
think it
a
was late
long
last
time,
year.
dude. Like I feel like it's been several months. That being said, I don't know. Whitechapel kind of did the same thing though.
Yeah.
They dropped that one track, Visceral Wretch, I think, late last year. So I don't know. But yeah, this one for some reason it just felt like the promotion was really drawn out. So my interests were like I was in when the singles dropped, and then I kind of dipped down, and then the single dropped again, and then I kind of dipped out, and so I don't know. I just felt like it took a while, but yeah, I don't know. This just they're one of those bands that I feel like they don't really get the spotlight they deserve. I mean, their music is just fucking blows my mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the vein of like Beneath the Massacre style tech. Like their guitar work is it's insane.
Yeah.
They're just constantly, I think, running, man. And it's just like, it blows my mind to listen to.
Yeah, and I do like that even though it seems like he's kind of outgrown it, he still incorporates, the vocalist still incorporates those like breeze and stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
I
he's
love
done it to the point where he does like the kind of like he'll break in and out of it in a couple songs.
He'll even like throw in like a gurgly style kind of slammy
Mm-hmm.
vibe here and there. You know, it's like I love it, dude. Yeah, he gets nasty with it. And like there was, I want to say there's a part where he does this weird brie thing on a small smidgen moment of where the guitar like does a pitch, like harmonic or something, or like a weird pitch, and it's just really cool sounding. It's awesome. They make some sick tunes.
Hell yeah. So that is both of our picks for album of this week. That is Cytotoxin's third, I think third, because there's one an EP. It's either third or fourth album, Biographyte. Check it out. It's sick as fuck. We're probably going to talk about this on and off probably throughout the year. It's definitely going to get brought up at the end of the year. Yeah, check it out. Cytotoxins
Oh, yeah.
Biographite. So, first up, we got this band. This is a German thrash trio called Warfield with their new album With the Old Breed. This is pretty fun, especially if you like old style of Sodom. It's very much in the same vein. It's a war theme, but also the sound is kind of similar. It's very fun, awesome sound. I recommend checking it out. It's thrash. I want to say like if any other band was doing this, I would say they're a party band, but nothing about this band really feels much of a party because it's very war and like aggressive stuff. So it's a very fun band and serious band. Check it out. They're young, hungry, obviously. Check this band out, Warfield, with their new album With the Old Breed.
Yeah.
Up next we have Fractal Universe with their new album The Great Filters. I put this on here because this is the band that's opening on the Obscura tour that's stacked. It has Obscura,
okay.
and it's coming soon. It's Obscura, Atheist, Origin, Decrepit Birth, and Fractal Universe is
Yeah,
opening.
that is a crazy lineup.
However, listening to this, I don't think I was able to get past the first song. I'm not super into this. It still is techie, even a little bit progressive, but it felt like if Alcest instead of like a gazy black metal kind of soundish, if instead of that, Alcest decided to just kind of rate proggy tech, because the vocals sound remind me very much of Alcest, but it's amongst like
Yeah.
almost atheist style of tech death,
Hmm.
borderline jazzy. I was not feeling it, and in all honesty, when I first listened to it, I thought, "Man, I wish Cytotoxin was on this tour instead of Fractal Universe, because then it would just be perfectly rounded out." But if that does sound like your jam, check out Fractal Universe's Great Filters. It's just not my bag. It's not my bag, baby. Check it out if that is yours.
Yeah, I remember listening to these guys' last album, and I I don't know, I blasted it with some of my buddies, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. And it was one of those recs that like I send out, and then like the next day I go back and listen to it, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I just like skip the song, and I'm like, and I just like skip another song. I was like, damn, what was I? I don't know. Not to shit on this band by any means. Like they are clearly talented, but it's definitely in that vein of proggy where they do these odd time signatures and they don't have clear moments to headbang to. You've got to really figure it out. Some like math implementation shit in there. And if you know me, you know that it just like confuses me and like kind of totally jams up my system. And so like I'm sitting there like trying to headbang to it, and I'm like, like just kind of do this twitchy shit. So yeah, not really my bag either, man. But these guys, I'll always kind of give them a listen. I feel to this week mostly just because we were doing Meshuggah, and love me some Meshuggah. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, definitely odd time signatures there, and but with that being said, they are talented, no
Mhm.
doubt. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah. Check out Fractal Universe with their new album, The Great Filters. Up next, this was a fun surprise from the Facebook group, the Avant Garde or Avant Void. This is it's a black metal band with, I feel like, a little bit of death metal, Egyptian themed almost. And this band is called Sumerian Tombs with their new album, Age of Eternal Light. This was actually very good, very surprising. It was, so the first real track is, because I was kind of annoyed with the opening track. It's The Gates of Ganzer Open. It's 1 minute and 8 seconds. It's pretty much just silence until like the last 5 seconds they strike a chord and just let it ring out. And then the next song starts like, so why not just have that chord start in the actual first song? But whatever.
It's
But
a build up,
anyways-
dude.
But anyways, the actual music on here is pretty good. It's very epic. uh, building black metal in an Egyptian themed song Edemu Rising, Name, Temptress of the Night, Kutha,
Mm,
Necropolis. This is actually very
that's cool
good
sounding.
black metal. Kind of almost a little bit of an older sound, but still sounds good. It's kind of almost breathing fresh new life into black metal a little bit. I I enjoy this. I would probably check this band out again. This is probably be an album I might go back to later this year. This was a good listen. If
That's
that
cool.
sounds appealing to anyone out there, check out Sumerian Tombs with their new album Age of Eternal Light. This is a good one. Check it
I
out.
love that art, dude.
Oh
That
yeah.
looks sick as hell. Very like haunting look to it.
hmm They
That's incredible, man.
My one gripe is though they are all long songs. It looks like typical runtime is about 6 minutes and about 40 seconds is about the normal runtime for these songs, but
Damn.
you will enjoy it. I recommend it. Um,
Hell yeah.
Up next we have an EP by this band called Vortex, and their new EP is called Alien Realms. And holy shit, this is a symphonic death metal band and has done very, very well. Kind of in the, I saw it described as somewhere between if Flesh God meets Septic Flesh meets Cradle of Filth. I will say the vocals are a lot different than those other ones. I'm kind of enjoying these vocals a lot more. I wouldn't say the same as Septic Flesh. I kind of enjoy those vocals the most out of all four of those bands, but Vortex is doing a very good job with this sound. It's the symphonics are not overwhelming as they can be with Flesh God sometimes. It's very, very good. I would recommend this if you like the newer Shadow of Intent, to where there is still a little bit of symphonics, but it's not overpowering, still guitar driven. Check out Vortex if you want to drop that core off that label. You want to just listen to symphonic death metal. Check out Vortex. This is a pretty badass EP. Only gripe I have with this EP is the last song isn't a metal song. It just kind of sounds like some opera stuff. But other than that, like when humans defy the void, especially the song "Ripping the Threads of Reality," awesome EP, short listen. Check it out. That's these guys named Vortex. Check it out.
Hell yeah.
Um, this last time I'm not going to touch on too much because I don't think I got listened too deep into it. And that's this new album by uh, Diabolizer, Diabolizer, Diabo.
Diabolizer.
Yeah, with their new album Murderous Revelations. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I don't know, something about this first track. It just felt like it was longer than it was. But I mean, it's still a good sound. It's a modern death metal sound. No complaints there. Just for me, it wasn't hitting me right, especially when I have all these other albums right before it. Um, so yeah, check out Diabolizer with their new album Murderous Revelations, some modern death metal. That's about all I have to say
Oh
about
yeah.
that one. I don't really have much to say. I did that. My bad,
It looks sick.
Diabolizer. Yeah, it looks sick. It's just this is purely on me for not really checking this one out. I was very preoccupied with Cytotoxin's new album. Sumerian Tombs also took up some of my time, and then obviously also the new. They're not new, but all of Meshuggah's albums. So I was a little preoccupied with some other stuff. But yeah, check out Diabolizer's Murderous Revelations. Do it now.
Do it.
Yeah, that's all the albums we have. Do you have any new albums to that we missed that you want to bring up, or any new music that we probably missed?
No, I don't think so.
I
You know
gotcha.
what? I think that I seen I mean, I don't know that this is really going to go anywhere, but I'm just going to do a quick Spotify search because I want to say that I seen that one band, the Crimson Armada, is back.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. You remember them?
I was never super into them. I kind of found out about them after they broke up, and that newer band, Holy Guile, started after with the vocalist.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was his weed era. he dropped Christianity and went to weed.
Yeah, just talked about
Like,
weed.
that video like literally opens up to him like lighting a blunt or something. It's so ridiculous, but yeah, so they are back, man. I'm here on Spotify now, and looks like they dropped a whole EP
Oh,
back in February. Yeah, we totally
oh,
missed it. Um, and it looks like they got some features, Miss May I, and another song with Joey Sturgis. I don't know who that is, but
oh. He was the famous, very famous producer of all those like late 2000s, early 2010s metalcore bands. Like he did all of the Delaware Prada early stuff,
oh
Asking
shit, okay.
Alexandria. He was on almost everything back in those days.
Okay. Well, shit. Next week we may have to throw this late release on there, or throw this on there as a late release. Um, yeah, I thought that I'd seen some, but man, you know what? I have not seen this like floating around any metal pages or anything, so I don't know if it's good or if it's total garbage. But I guess we'll find out. You know.
Yeah, we'll have to throw it
Oh
on for
wow,
next week.
yeah. Oh, okay. So they started dropping this in late 2024. It looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then dropped the EP in 2025. Okay,
Hmm.
interesting. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyways.
Are they still Christian?
I don't know. Let me see. It it looks like on their Spotify they're still donning their like old fucking MySpace picture.
Hmm.
I feel like they were a MySpace band. Probably started there. Um, it just says that formed in '07, Westerville, Ohio, quintet the Crimson Armada found themselves on a meteoric rise through the extreme metal world. The band, consisting of Saad Ahmed, vocals and keyboards, Dan Hetfield guitar. Oh, okay. I click this. It gets a lot longer. I'm not going to read it all. Um. Oh yeah. So they still have like the whole Saad Ahmed departure, and that it says they're disbanding. So they haven't updated their Spotify apparently. But anyways, that's out there in the ether if you want to give it a gander.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to put it on for next week so we can give it a checking out. Just like
For
because I
sure.
feel like it's almost like a return, just like kind of like Molotov solution, kind of quiet. Because I
Right.
haven't seen really many people talking about either of their comebacks.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess that is a perfect time to segue into metallic news, huh?
Absolutely, metal, news, news.
Metal news.
Before I talk about anything metal wise, though, I do have some regular news. The
Oh.
Blues, just a few minutes ago, just clinched a seat into the NHL playoffs.
Oh.
Boo, 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 boo.
Wow. Damn. Kind of looks like you're doing double
Double
highs there,
Elon
Joe.
Musk's.
Yeah.
My heart just goes out to all of the Blues Nation.
That was some crazy excitement.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, go Blues, man.
The season
I
continues.
I haven't been keeping up on the hockey. Did they have any fights tonight? Lose any
I didn't
teeth?
watch. I didn't watch the game tonight. Was wanting to,
Oh,
but they kind of played a later game. But and
okay.
also, so right now they played a team that's in a weird situation right now to where they are changing ownership. So right now they don't have a name, and they're changing states and all that.
Oh,
So they're
wow.
no longer the Arizona Coyotes. They're now the Utah Hockey Club, and it's just a blue circle with the word Utah. So it's hard for me to
Oh,
get excited
jeez.
when a team I love who has a history is playing a team that literally their jersey just says Utah.
Yeah, that's weird. Huh.
And it's the last game of the season, but yeah, they won 6-1. All they had to do was
Huh.
win the game.
Nice.
and they were in. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exciting times.
Are you gonna be a Blues fan if the St. Louis Blues become like the LA Blues?
Not L.A. Blues. Like if they
Yeah.
go to like a, if they go somewhere like, if they go to like Montgomery, Alabama, or something like that, like I might still like root for them a little bit.
That must be hard, right? Like if you're a St. Louis Rams fan and then you were there and you're fucking just bought your Marshawn Lynch jersey and then they sell to LA or whatever or who I don't know. Wasn't Marshawn Lynch like on the Rams
Was
around that
he?
time or something? I don't maybe not. Or wait, so he was Seahawks, right?
Yeah,
For
he was
sure.
Seahawks. I know he's Seahawks. I didn't
Okay.
know what he was before.
Maybe I'm getting him mixed up with someone else. I don't know. I thought he was a Ram, maybe not, but I don't know. Anyways, regardless, I always thought about that and how that must suck to have all this St. Louis Rams gear and shit, and then your
Hmm.
team moves all the way over to the West Coast. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
Kind of feels like you're probably abandoned, right?
yeah. In fact, I want to say, when the Blues won their Stanley Cup, they said "fuck Stan Kroenke," who is the owner of the Rams.
Oh, wow. Damn.
So there's still a lot of
Yeah.
hate for him in St. Louis.
Well, it's got to be hard, dude, because I'm sure they have to take into account that that's probably going to like on the extreme side of it, like the crime rates are probably gonna rise in the city, because you were keeping all these people. I mean, seriously though, you were keeping all these people occupied with a game to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and now moving all the way to this coast, they can't even watch the games locally. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if they
Yeah.
if they if they just have like basic cable or some shit like that, whereas they could have had that privilege before, but. So yeah, that sucks, man. I always feel for those guys. I guess that's totally not really related to your hockey situation. That's a different team, but
Well, I think there's starting to be less and less fans in St. Louis because of probably of how they were running the team. But I know no matter what, St. Louis is pretty much always, even when the Blues were doing great, St. Louis is pretty much a baseball town. Like,
yeah, that's right. The Cardinals. That's
because
true.
anytime it's a Cardinals baseball game, because you'll see it everywhere. You see people walking from everywhere to go to a Cardinals game, even when they suck. They still, it's a baseball town.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So I don't think it was. They probably hated that their team that had won the Super Bowl before, been a couple times, just started to deteriorate. The owner didn't care, and then just ups and moves and kind of badmouths City by saying it's not a football town. It's like, well, maybe if you gave them a good team, like the Battlehawks, from what I understand,
Right. No shit.
they sold like a shit ton of tickets, and I want to say had the highest attendance out of any of the other teams in that league.
Oh wow. Oh, isn't that Battlehawks? Isn't that like arena football or something? Or what's
It's the
that?
UFL kind of. It's kind of like the
Or
minor
yeah.
league football they have now, owned by The
Okay.
Rock.
Is that's St. Louis though?
Hmm.
That's Battlehawks. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Have you been watching that? I seen it on TV. We went out to eat and it was on at a restaurant.
Haven't this year at all. I did last year. I just been kind of keeping up on ESPN. Just from now every now and then. I think they're like 2-1 right now, but still like the attendance is still like off the charts. Like St. Louis is trying to prove that they are a football team because they're really just a sports team. Yes, baseball's the biggest, but you have the soccer team now, which when we went to the Blues game, I think it was we went to the Blues game, parking sucked everywhere because there was a Blues game and a soccer game going on.
Oh
So finding
shit.
parking anywhere sucked. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think they're trying to
That's
prove that they're a football team as well.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, those other sports, they just ain't got the violence that football does. I mean,
Hmm.
it's the thing that we all want, but we can't really say that we want. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's, but I don't know. I like the UFL because its season is timed up in the spring. And so I feel like they are way more prone to have these fucking catastrophic rains and shit and just have to stand out there and play in it. Like, I remember catching one game last year and it was like a 1 p.m. game, but dude, it was fucking just piss downpouring like rain on these guys. And the coach just over there chewing his gum, fucking rain's just pouring off of his hat. And these players, they can't throw or catch for shit. So like the score wasn't even that high at all, but it was just a total shit show. But I don't know. I think that's kind of a fun element, you know.
Yeah.
NFL kind of has the fall, which I think is cool. You're making them play in frigid, cold ass temperatures. I could not even imagine catching one of those footballs and some of the temperatures that they have to play in. I think that would really suck. But honestly, I think I would probably prefer to play in this weather over the fall.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think that's interesting. I'm gonna have to tune in to one of those games here soon. Does Kansas City have one of those teams?
No, it's for Missouri. It's only St. Louis. I want to say
Okay.
there's like 3 Texas teams though. That is one thing I kind of do have I want the UFL to succeed. I want it to keep going because I want St. Louis to have this team. But that is my biggest gripe is that there's not a lot of teams. I want to say there's 8 teams total or something like that. So the playoffs are very quick, and it's really just like the top 2 teams. And if you have like a bad game here or there, like pretty much you're out of the playoffs. Like I want to say they're, I don't know if I don't think it was last season or the season before. Like they got screwed over because they lost just one game less than the person in their division, and so they couldn't make the playoffs because
Mm,
that's just how it was structured. I want to
damn.
say last year, I don't know if they went to the championship or not and lost, but I don't know. I want to say they've been pretty consistent and good. So hopefully
That's cool.
they can keep it going. Hopefully UFL can keep going. I almost wish the UFL would kind of turn into how the other professional sports teams have it, almost like a farm team. To where like the St. Louis Cardinals or the Springfield Cardinals, like they hire a prospect, they want to see how he does. They start him off in the AAA, then the AA and stuff like that. Same with professional hockey. Like you have the St. Louis Blues, but they also have the Kansas City Mavericks, which is a farm team for I think Calgary or Seattle. But you have these farm
Mm,
teams to where if you want a professional athlete, but you don't have the room on your roster for him, you can either trade him or you can send him down to the minor leagues to kind of like keep him strong, keep him conditioned and still playing and still get some value out of him. And then when it's time, you can pull him up to the major leagues. I wish they could somehow make the UFL kind of like that a little bit.
huh. I know that I'm pretty sure players have transported from NFL to UFL, right?
Yeah, I want to say the
And
Chiefs
back and
took.
forth.
Yeah, I want to say the first season, the Battlehawks had this pretty good QB, and I want to say the Chiefs actually picked him up after the season
Oh,
folded.
wow. Oh, okay. Huh. That's interesting. I think that's cool. I don't know, man. I think the UFL, they really need to dump a shit ton of money into advertising because I forget about it,
Hmm.
you know? I totally had forgotten about it until we went out and I seen that at a restaurant. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot this is on this time of year. I just
Hmm.
feel like I'd never see anything about it. You know, I think that they just need to, because when it's NFL season, dude, I mean, every other commercial has fucking Patrick Mahomes in it
Hmm.
or whoever, some NFL player. And then you see the sports betting commercials and shit. Like, yeah, I think UFL needs to do that. They need to
Yeah. I wish
get
they would,
into
but
some
I don't know how much
advertising.
money is really poured into that because I also feel like it's a very shoestring budget. Because I want to say they're owned
Right,
by The Rock and one other person, but as rich as they are, they're not like the NFL rich. They can't pour the same amount of money because that's multiple like millionaires and billionaires in that league. And
right.
I want to say even the UFL players, they don't make that much money. I want to say it's like $40,000 a year or something like that, if that. So
Well,
they're,
and that's like, I think that's cool though because this is kind of like the opportunity to give all those guys that really didn't have a chance in the NFL a chance to still play because they're still good. I mean, there's still quality to be had there. So I don't know. I think that's cool, and I don't know that they really need to be making millions like the NFL, but
yeah, I wouldn't say they need to be, but I feel like at the same time, if you're going to be putting your body through that much
yeah,
stuff and
true.
potential life altering stuff, and
Needs
you're
to be
barely
worth the risk
making, yeah, because I feel like that's still kind of below the median household income still.
for sure. Yeah, it's probably not good enough, but
And it's not something you can really carry into another job. You can't go into accounting. It's like, well, here on your resume it says you were UFL defensive back. Yes, and now I'm ready to be an accountant.
That's right, coach.
Put me in.
Just totally fucked from CTE. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't really have any metal news. I'm kind of fine with talking about sports a little bit, though. Do you have any metal news?
I don't. You know what? I don't really think so.
I will say there was something I
Go to the
saw. It's
old
not really any
Oracle.
official news. It's more of just like, well, that's odd. Danza changed their profile picture and then changed it back
Yeah,
without
I don't know
saying
what the fuck they're
anything.
doing. I feel like they're just fucking with people at this point because I've seen them do that too. Former Judas Priest drummer Les Binks has died at the age of 73. Rest in peace.
No
I
new
can't think of
allegations.
any. Yeah, no new allegations. Can't think of. I want to say there's a new show announcement. It looked like a pretty big show, but it's a one-off. Where is that? Kentucky? There's some
Oh,
big ass
Louisville.
show in yeah, some big ass show over there in Kentucky. It's got a stacked ass lineup, but it's like one day, and I don't know. Hard to put the funds into a giant ass trek just for a one day show like that.
Yeah, because if it is a
Louder
big,
Than Life looks ridiculous. If that, I don't think that's Louisville, is it?
I think that is, isn't it?
Louder Than Life's like the 5 day, 5 stage fucking big shebang
Uh,
or 4 day thing. Five
I want to
stages.
say Rocklahoma should be coming out with a lineup at some point because that's like in the fall. I want to say late summer, fall time frame.
They need to have like Peel and Flesh as that freaking mascot. Rocklahoma, dude. That's a band that rocks Lahoma.
Well, they usually have a pretty good lineup. It's usually like 3 days. Yes, there's some like bro bands like they'll have Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh,
I
I
can
guess
bear.
Louder Than Life is in Louisville. I
Oh, okay.
was right the whole time. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, it's so huge. It's like it is so big. They have such big acts headlining, like on each stage. Like I'm gonna be in such a predicament of who to go see.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
just listen off the top. They got fucking Rob Zombie, uh, Sleep Token, Bad Omens. Those are terrible ones to start listing off. That's just what I could see. Um, but I got to go over this because it's like so ridiculous. I want to say Meshuggah's even at this thing too, which is really, yeah, I mean, it's so obnoxious, dude. Slayer, Deftones, Avenged Sevenfold, Bring Me the Horizon, Sleep Token, Suicide Boys, Bad Omens, Rob Zombie, A Perfect Circle, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, Evanescence, Knock Loose, 3 Days Grace, Lamb of God, Mudvayne, I Purveyor, Box, All Time Low, Dream Theater, Stone Temple Pilots, Motionless, and White, Cypress Hill, Astabath Down, Lorna Shore, Bruce Dickinson, Story So Far, Slar to Prevail, Trivium in This Moment, Cheetos, Dilger, Escape Plan. Cannibal Corpse, Black Veil Brides, Hollywood Undead, Insane Cloud Posse, Dayseeker, Wage War, Powerwolf, Flyleaf, Cavalera, Machine Head, Chimera, Necti. Dude, like, it's not even ending. Tech Nine, Testament, like, it's crazy.
That does
It's
remind
crazy,
me.
dude. I'm still scrolling.
That
That's
is the metal
insane.
news I forgot about. Powerwolf announced U.S. and Canadian tour with Dragon Force. Not really my bag, but for anyone who is into those bands, they might be coming to a city near you. Some power metal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Louder Than Life. I think I want to say I did see that. It's like multiple stages for like 3 or 4 days or something like that. And it seems
Yeah.
like there's always one stage that has like everything you want. Then there's a couple other stages like, well, I can't miss that band. So why would I
Right.
leave? Like, I really want to see Dillinger, but I want to say there's like that same day. It looks like there's other bands like, well, I can't miss that band though either.
Yeah. I know. It's like I would need an electronic bike if I went to that show. Because if not, I'm going to be fucking like just walking back and forth the whole time. Probably sweating
Mhm.
my ass off. I don't know. I imagine it's such a badass vibe, though, dude. I'm sure there's
Mhm.
so many people going to be camping. It's probably got a big camping deal there. I'm pretty jealous. There's a dude on my friends list who's got a ticket 4-day pass. I'm like, damn, man. I am kind of interested. I'm just super jealous to not be able to go to that, man. But I bet it's fun as hell. I'm sure it's a
Yeah.
big ass party.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about like multi-day ones because I've never done anything like that. I just imagine like the head bang over from the day after. It's just like, well, gotta wake up
Yeah,
and do this all over again. Then also
yeah,
just the food situation. I can't imagine how that would be because you know those food
yeah,
prices there are gonna suck.
yeah. Not only that, you're probably like fucking. I mean, do they have? It's probably just porta potties constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a shower room?
Doubtful.
Can
So
you
it's gonna
shower?
be you and a bunch of stinky people, and just,
Oh my God. By
you're already
Sunday,
all
dude.
moshing for days.
Yeah, you're gonna be so musky by Sunday or musty.
It's gonna turn to a
Like,
crust punk show.
yeah, man. I mean, that's nuts. Smile, empty soul, disembodied tyrant. It's pretty ridiculous. The fact that those two bands are, on the same bill. Fulci's gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
Mugshot. I want to say that band's playing at Rose Music Hall here soon.
I want to say Spear World's on that lineup, aren't they?
Peeling Flesh, Left to Suffer. I'm looking for Spirit World or Spirit Box.
Spirit World.
Um, I don't know, man. I mean, shit, I'm sure at this point it seems like they got fucking every band, dude. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm not seeing Spirit World actually.
I want to say, yeah, they're on the Trivium stage with Machine Head.
Oh shit. Okay.
Right above. Are you looking at just the regular lineup, or are you looking at the tour poster?
No, I'm on like the actual website, and it's like it's not giving me the fucking tour poster. That's what I was hoping, but it's just like a giant scroll page of literally every single band. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, like I want to. So what day is this one? Okay, so yeah, like here's a stage that I don't know if I want to leave, but I'm gonna have to at some point. Like there's a stage on Thursday. It's Not Enough Space Left to Suffer, Full of Hell, Sanguish Sugarbog, Brand of Sacrifice,
Damn.
Kublai Khan, and Lorna Shore. But
Hmm.
that same day, Peeling Flesh is also playing.
Oh
So is
shit.
Fulci, Black Dahlia Murder, Cannibal Corpse, Marilyn Manson, Lamb of God, and Slayer.
Wow.
All the same
That's
day.
crazy. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. I definitely have to catch Peeling Flesh, Fulci, Cannibal Corpse, um, maybe Lorna Shore. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be more wanting to see Full of Hell, Sanguish Sugarbog, and Kublai
Yeah,
Khan.
definitely like to see those two.
Because
Yeah,
then,
and Kublai Khan.
'cause then all those other bands that are on the other stages. I want to see somehow try to figure that out. Also,
Damn,
Acid
dude.
Bath. Acid Bath is back together playing a show.
I'm not super familiar with them.
They're
I'm pretty
like
sure Sean's bumped them a couple times
yeah,
to
they're
me.
like a early sludge metal band. Like one of the members started Goat Whore.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Um, but yeah, then there's that one day with Dillinger Escape Plan, Glassjaw, Counterparts, Dying Wish, Norma Jean, It Dies Today, and Gates to Hell. That's one stage. Then that same day, Slaughter to Prevail, Knocked Loose. That's it for the ones I care about on that day. Then there's one stages that I don't care at all about. In This Moment, Flyleaf, Hinder, Crossfade, 10 Years, Rev Theory, 12 Stones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. I feel like the tickets are gonna be expensive though.
Oh, I think it's like starts at like 375 or some shit like that.
Let's go ahead and knock out some Meshuggah.
All right.
So,
I had an absolute blast reviewing the almighty Meshuggah.
and since this is more of your band, I'm gonna let you drive on this one. There we
Sick.
go. And I already added to where there's enough things
Damn.
so I don't have to add any columns. Yeah. You want to start us off with their debut, Contradictions Collapse?
Is that the debut or is it Destroy, Erase, Improve?
I don't know. I thought it was Contradictions Collapse. At least it sounds like it, sound wise anyway.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you're right. On Spotify I only have the re-release on here or reloaded, so it's like the lineup's not in the proper order. But
So you're saying it did not come out in 2008?
yeah. Yeah, okay. So this is the uh Metallica Meshuggah album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Contradictions Collapse. So I've never been crazy on this one. Jens has a very James Hetfield style going on here, and I think it's pretty clear. Um, I don't know if that's really a direct influence. I mean, what Meshuggah grew to be, like, definitely strays pretty far from Metallica, But on this album, you can definitely hear some similarities going on. So it's kind of, I don't know, interesting. But not not one of my top choices for this band. Probably my bottom. So I haven't really listened to this all the way through even. I don't know if there was members changed or not, but anyways, I don't know. I would probably give this one a 5.
Okay. I'm kind of the same way on the ranking. Listening to this, it almost makes me feel like this sounds like Metallica's lost album between And Justice for All and the Black Album. Like it fits right perfectly in there with sound wise. The only thing I will say though is even though this is like their debut album, it still kind of sounds like they're already kind of like that syncrasy that they kind of have with each other. There's still like some still a little bit of that rhythmic to where they're all together doing a little bit of almost mathiness in it every now and then. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not the level that they eventually grew to become and that we all know Meshuggah for. It's not bad. I can see this maybe being kind of a big deal when it came out. Um, but this isn't the Meshuggah we all know and love, so I'm probably going to give this a 5 as well. What is next?
I mean, it's a pretty good sound for a starting album. Sorry, I was just skimming it there, but like the tunes, like they got some good stuff in there. But
Hmm.
I think it's just that foundation album. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
pretty um, there. I don't know, pretty much just there. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, up next, Destroy, Erase, Improve in 95. What year was that Contradictions Collapse? I don't have the right year
I want to
here
say
on
it was like
Spotify. Do you know?
93 or 92, probably.
Damn, dude. This band has been going for fucking like my whole life.
Hmm.
That's crazy to me. It's just crazy because Jen's like, I went to that Meshuggah show, man. And I was expecting to hear like this old man trying to do some metal vocals, and I just thought I was going to hear imperfections, and all I heard was perfection. It was mind blowing. Like they're just masters of their craft. But anyways, Destroy, Erase, Improve. Obviously, you get into more of the metal Meshuggah here. Opens up with one of their classics, Future Breed Machine. They play this. I think they end their sets with this still to this day. They do. But with that being said, it's still not one of my favorite Meshuggah songs. Meshuggah songs, but I could see why people like it. It's pretty hoppy. It's got a good beat to it, but pretty cool. It's not bad. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's not one of my go-tos, so I'd probably give this a 7.
Okay.
What do
I
you
would
think about this one?
I kind of equate this album kind of like Lamb of God's debut album, New American Gospel, and I think Future Breed Machine's kind of in line with like Black Label, just not like sound wise, but I would say what it is for the band, like because this isn't obviously like their
I think
best
that's fair.
song. This is like their first big song that caught on with people, kind of like Black Label did with Lamb of God. So I think that's why it kind of
Mhm.
sticks in there and it's kind of become a fan favorite, just for like its old throwback flavor or feel for the set list, and kind of giving the old fans what they want. I do think that is the best song on the album. The rest of it is like it kind of it's still not there yet. It kind of makes me think musically with what Contradictions Collapse. It's one step closer to what they would become. I don't think I listened to the whole album, but I kind of got the gist of it about halfway through. Future Breed Machine was pretty good. I'm probably going to give this one a 6.5. What's next?
Nice. Up next, they come out with a banger, Chaos Fear, in 1998. And I was kind of late on this album, man. Like, I didn't go through their discography, from the start of the albums to modern. Like, I went over the place when I first started listening to this band, but I was on this train pretty late with Chaos Fear. I want to say I didn't like hop on this album for like listening to Meshuggah for like a couple years. It took me a minute, but once I got it, man, I got it. I love this album. It's probably one of my favorites, man, of theirs. And I love it because I think it's beyond its time. For this coming out in 1998, I think is mind blowing before the 2000s. Like with the shit that they were doing, they made Djent before they knew what it was. And I don't really know that they like that um, title of being the Djent pioneers, but they got it, man. I mean, and they made it. I mean, this album is definitely Djenty as hell, and a big classic track in their discography with New Millennium, Cyanide Christ. Badass song, dude. One of my favorites of Meshuggah's. The ending breakdown is it's so damn good. And this whole album front to back, man, like there's so much I love about it. The ending song is just a mashup. It almost sounds like of every song on this album playing at the same time. Sounds very stressful. And I really don't even know what it is, but every time it comes on, I always hear it playing whenever I'm just doing stuff. So I just let it go on, but it's just like so anxiety inducing. It's crazy. But anyways, man, I think it's a badass album. I would give this one a 9.5.
I gotcha. Um, so just a little forewarning because I feel like this is gonna happen in a couple albums. For me, there's certain albums that I really like, and there's classics I've noticed that Meshuggah fans have that I think differently of. This is one of those ones for me. Like I don't mind it. I do see this is where they've actually fully found their sound. To where their first two albums, it seems like they were trying to. This one, that sounds like they've actually finally found it.
For sure.
Top.
It's like fully fledged.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like at this point, it's still kind of stuck in the. They found their sound, but I feel like they're kind of stuck in the time that they're in of what they're capable of doing, and it's full. That's more fully an issue with the album after this, but uh, I do think top tracks, New Millennium, Sinai Christ, The Mouth Licking What You Bled, and I want to say The Exquisite Machinery of Torture. But this is it's pretty good, but still not up to where the things I love about Meshuggah coming through fully. There's still some cool stuff in here. I'm probably going to give this a 7.
Okay.
That's probably going to be higher. I don't know.
I think that's fair. I mean, this album was hard for me to get into at first because of the sound quality. Like for its time, I think it's beyond. It was before its time, man. Like people didn't know what had hit them, but like it's definitely still has a raw production to it.
Mhm.
Cymbals are definitely kind of constantly just crashing in your ear, and it's just kind of like it's got like a messy sound to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I grew to love it. And I will say you might have a better experience if you listen to the Chaos Sphere Reloaded edition that they
Okay.
remastered in 2008. So, because anytime I do listen to it, I go to that one, because it's obviously just higher quality. But yeah, man, killer album, I think.
Really?
Up next, Nothing in 2002. And again, dude, like I think this is another release before its time. Like coming out with a crazy Djent groove, Stenga. It's a weird progression in that song, but it's kind of like boppy, like you can almost kind of do like the cha 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 to it. Fun as hell. And then the iconic Rational Gaze. Can't help but see Leonardo DiCaprio anytime I hear that song anymore. Um, and yeah, I mean this album's filled with hits, dude. Perpetual Black Seconds, another big one. Closed Eyes Visuals, Glens Collide, like Straws Pulled at Random. Front to back, man, it's a banger album. It's kind of fallen off for me recently, in comparison to some of their other ones, though. But I could still go back and turn this on and love it, though. So I don't know. With that being said, I would give this one an 8.7.
Okay.
What do
This
you think
one,
about this one?
this one holds a kind of special place in my heart because this was. So I have a theory that whenever someone finds a band, whatever album they find them through, that's what no
Mm,
matter what, even if it's an experimental album, that's what they expect that band to sound like, and that's what this album was for me. This is the first album I ever bought by them, and
okay.
it was the blue version, the remastered one.
Oh,
Because from what I
nice.
understand, they wrote this with I think like 8 or 9 string guitars, but when they went to record, they realized the sound equipment at that time was not up to snuff, so they couldn't do it. So they had to go
Oh,
back to
shit.
one lower string. So when they came with the remastered, they actually did the uh, version they wanted. But
Oh, okay.
but yeah, this holds special place in my heart. Stinga, burr, 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 burr,
Bam, bam,
burr,
bam.
burr. That
It's
was
so good, dude.
I remember that coming on. I was like, God damn, this is big. And then
Yeah,
Rational Gaze with its grooviness, and it's like you said, the Wolf on Wall Street fitting
yeah.
perfectly in it. Yeah, some great songs on here. Perpetual Black Second, Glints Collide, Organic Shadows. I also like Spasm. This is a very good album. For me, this is the blueprint of what Meshuggah is supposed to sound like. And for me, it's purely because this is how I found them. So this
Okay.
is how I expect what I expect Meshuggah to sound like and a Meshuggah album to be. So I'm probably gonna give this one. They do get better as the years go by. Uh, I do still love this one, so I'm probably gonna give this one 8.5. What was your score again?
Okay. Nice. I gave it an 8.7
Okay.
just to be complicated.
All right. Up
Up
next.
next. Uh, for me, this one's huge. 2005. I always say the year, but I don't really know if Spotify's got them totally accurate or not. I want to say I relate this to the year 2003, but I don't know if that's just because this is titled Catch 33. And this is an album that is essentially one ginormous song. If you have never listened to this album before, it is so weird but cool, man, because I just feel like, again, ahead of its time. Like, people weren't doing this shit when this band did. And it clearly shows with this album, man. Like, I never heard anything like it whenever I listened to this. And I still, to this day, haven't really heard a lot like this. In comparison, I guess the closest thing I could compare this album to is Tesseract's One. Or, no. Altered State. Or one. I guess you could do either one of those. They're another Djent band, but they kind of do an album with similar guitar chords, and they'll kind of play them differently, repeat them. What the hell am I trying to say? Anyways, it's the whole one song kind of vibe thing, but broken into sections, and so I don't know. I love this album for that. Like, it opens up chaotic, kind of throws you off with this weird, odd time signature, but then it kind of, as the tracks go on, it gets closer and closer to fully functioning like time signature. And then I want to say it's by Disenchantment. So you start from Anatomy Lost, and then into when it hits Disenchantment is when you kind of get that full groove of what the song, it's kind of like built up to, what it should sound like. And then kind of breaks apart again, like with the new section of the album, but still sounds like the same song, So it's just like, it's this album that's just a fucking journey, man. And for me, I can't really play any song on this album without just listening to the whole thing. I think it's got to be a one-time listen through. If I do go to a song, it's still not one, but two. And that is In Death Is Life to In Death Is Death. And if you haven't heard those, that is another absolute just banging song of Meshuggah discography that I still, to this day, I hate that I haven't seen them play that live. I was really hoping that they were going to pull that out this last time that I caught them, but I still got to go. I'm going to see Meshuggah again in the future, just in hopes that I can see that song played live, because it's one of my favorites. But yeah, dude, I love it all the way through. I got to give this one a 9.7.
Okay. I gotcha. I'm gonna say this. So this is probably my second favorite album by them, and I think when it comes to Meshuggah, they kind of tread the line of being awesome and being borderline boring. Like, they tread that line so carefully. Like, it's either gonna be amazing, or it's like, all right, it's super repetitive. This is one, and with that, I think that when you have that kind of sound, you have to do something to spice it up to keep it on that good side. And with Catch 33, I think this whole idea is what keeps it over there. And you need an idea, a connecting idea, to make this fully work. And I think Catch 33 does a perfect job of that, of the whole, this is one song. It's a full album and different tracks, but this is all one song. And I think that is done perfectly on this one. Because really, if you just listen to it through, don't look at anything, you just have the record going, you won't know you're on track 3. It just,
Right.
they all blend into each other so well. It is until the fourth song you look at it like, oh shit, I'm on the fourth song. I thought this is like the second or still the first one.
Right.
But it does build so perfectly, almost like a clock finally kind of ticking back to life. With this perfect, like, the instruments kind of Tool-ish. Everything's kind of slowly kind of clicking together into machinery. And you brought it up in life, especially with how the mind's mirrors. It's weird and trippy, some weird sounds going on, and slowly builds up into the explosion that is In Death Is Life, and then the follow track In Death Is Death. It's the perfect, and in all honesty, I feel like that's like the pinnacle of the album. The album should almost end there, and like these other tracks should maybe be released later. But even listening to these other tracks, there's still a great Dehumanization, Shed. It is a near perfect album. The only reason,
Dude, and some, like how it ends on the at the very end, that ending is one of the most climactic moments in metal that I've ever heard. It is just one build up, and then it's like a giant climax moment and just release, and it's a perfect way to end an album, dude. So epic.
Yeah. This is a pretty awesome album. If anyone's interested in Meshuggah and is interested in like the whole kind of an album as a concept of just like how it's structured, uh, check out Catch 33. It's both a classic and just an amazing album. I'm going to give this one a 9.5. All right. What is
Oh, yes.
next?
Up next, the ginormous Obzen is released in 2008. And this album is it crushes, dude. It was, I think, probably it's groundbreaking. Is that like a good way to put it? I mean, with you have the epic, all time probably most played Meshuggah song ever, "Bleed,"
Hmm.
is on this album. And yeah, man, I think this is a completely flawless album. You know, I think if you are a fan of metal, any fan of metal can find something to appreciate in this album. You know, if they're not Meshuggah fans, I think it's hard to not like something about this album. It's got great pump up songs. Opens up with a great pump up song, "Combustion," and it's just flawless, dude. Like front to back, man. I mean, giant songs. "Bleed," "Lethargica." Oh my gosh, "Lethargica" crushes. The song "Obzen" itself. One of my favorites, though, that I gotta highlight is this "Spiteful Snake." That is such a badass groove, man, with
Hmm.
Thomas Hawk on the toms, dude, just riding that fucking bitch out. Oh, it's so good. This album, I think, it's the grand masterpiece of Meshuggah history. This is my 10. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this album. I can hear it over and over again and love it, you know. It's epic, man. I love it. What do you think of this one?
So this is why I did a little bit of forewarning earlier. This is
Oh my gosh. You can't hate Obzen, dude. Obzen is
I'm
the
about to
album.
I was thinking about this while I was listening to this again today, and it's like, man, I'm gonna piss a lot of Meshuggah fans off with
You're gonna crush some spirits.
um
That's
so
okay.
I this is the album that pretty much so Meshuggah was already kind of big in like underground circles. Like you had to really be like big into metal to know about Meshuggah before this. But once this album came out, Bleed was everywhere. Like
Hmm.
non-metal people knew Bleed. I've heard Bill Burr talk about how amazing the song Bleed is and how he's tried to learn it on drums. Like the song is almost is more known than the actual band itself. It has 68 million plays on the song. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy. Holy shit, man.
this and it's gonna get a lot of numbers, a lot of a higher score for that for me from me for that. It does have some good tracks on here. Like I do like the intro Combustion. I like how it's a style that they don't really do like bum, bum, dum, dum, bum. Like that again kind of brings me back to that a little bit of a Tool feel to it. Kind of like a 10,000
Hmm.
Days style of riffing from Tool. I do love this Spiteful Snake. Lethargica is pretty good. Provis. Um,
Oh yeah.
but for me, it's still I've wanted to love this album so much and see what the because it was the like I want to say this was on so many people's number one top album for 2008 when it came out. And I wanted to love it so much because Bleed was so big and it was so massive. But for me,
Uh-huh.
this album has just not clicked with me. Um, I don't know, and I think is because kind of like I was talking about earlier with Nothing. Um, it wasn't really the sound I was really wanting from Meshuggah. It wasn't the
Hmm.
connecting ideas, kind of like with Catch 33, at least from what I was telling. So for me, it wasn't. It still hasn't fully clicked this album. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've always I do like Meshuggah. There's some albums I absolutely love. But I think because this album does get like this is the identity of the band for most of the hardcore fans. Why I still don't I'm still hesitant to get fully on board with everything Meshuggah, uh, if that makes sense. Like I'm not
It's
kind of
fair.
like I'm a fan, just like I'm a fan of Tool, but there's other fans who are bigger fans to where it's like I might not want to bring it up because I don't want to. Like my favorite Tool album is Anima. I know most hardcore Tool fans are going to be Laterals fans.
Yeah.
Hardcore fans of Meshuggah or regular fans of Meshuggah are usually going to pick Obscene. It's not my favorite. I'm probably going to give this one. It still has some pretty obviously classics on this, so I'm probably still going to give this a. I'll give this an 8.9.
Okay. That's fair. You're entitled to your shitty opinion.
Also,
I just think I thought it was so cool that they not just made up a word, but a word with meaning. You know, finding Zen through the act of something obscene, and that's where Zen came from. So, like that video, you know, it's what drew me in was the video and how eerie it is, and this guy that is, you know, has all the multiple hands and shit covered in blood, but he's like at peace and. I don't know, dude. It drew me in. They hit all the cues for me, hit all the marks, but you know, it stands true to your statement in that you're attached to that album you discover the band on, whereas this is the band I discovered Meshuggah on. You know, I was late to Bleed and Meshuggah in general. Like I didn't even watch the video until after 2010 at some point. I want to say it was like 2012, maybe 2013. I was pretty late to it and like I couldn't believe it, but I was, you know, I may have already said this on here, but I was scrolling just on YouTube, fucking clicking random metal videos and I'd seen this Meshuggah Bleed, but there was something that I just hadn't checked it out before. It's like, whatever. And so I just clicked it, turned it on, and it just kicks in. I was like, holy shit, dude. I was immediately sucked in. So, yeah, stands true to your statement of you're attached to the band and what you found them on.
Yeah, and I get why people would like this because I do love like the whole like album art concept because I want to say there's even more like attachment with like the whole like you brought up with the obscene like it's obscene and but finding peace within the obscene like even the model they use for it so like it's a male model but the position he's in like the leg position can only be done men cannot do it physically do it has to be a woman so it's done the lower half is actually a female's body but somehow like they redid the image to where it looks like a man doing what only a female can do, kind of adding to the more like I wouldn't say disturbing, but like off kilter feel of it a little bit.
So they were again ahead of their time of the trans wave.
Back in 2008.
Wow. Way to go, Meshuggah.
How woke.
Hell yeah. What did you give that one?
I think I gave it an 8.9.
Oh, okay. I see it on there now. All right. Well, onward. We have kind of a fair gap in between Obscene and this next one, which is Kolos. And this is kind of like a sidewinder, man. This is like I don't know why, but I guess I felt like I don't know if it was underhyped for me or just from what I seen, you know. Again, I really wasn't on the Meshuggah train when this album dropped, so I was kind of late to this one as well. But going into it, I fell in love with it. You know, it's just Meshuggah is my band. They are my all-time fave, so I love most of their albums all the way through, and this is one of them, man. Opens up killer with a Crusher song, I Am Colossus, into a crazy intricate fucking all instrument intricate song. The demon's name is Surveillance. That is just blows my mind. Like Thomas Hawk does not let up on the double pedal throughout the entire track. It's crazy, man. Like, damn, dude. It blows my mind. Do Not Look Down. Behind the Sun. I feel like it's not really late in the album, but I feel like it's got like that deep cut kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean? It just crushes at the end of that one, man. And then Break Those Bones, Whose Sinews Gave It Motion. Oh, fuck, I love that song. That is such a good one. Such a good slow metal jam. And then Swarm. obviously seeing that live, dude. Oh, so cool, so badass. Love that song. Love this album. I would give this one a solid 9.
Okay. So this is my favorite Meshuggah album. Um,
Nice.
there's so much about this album I love. The main thing I want to point out, though, I feel like this album has that sets it apart for me from all their other albums is that this one has the most primal feel to it. It has
Mm,
to where some other albums almost get close because one of the things I do like about Meshuggah, they do have like their sound is very percussive.
hmm
So when they do have those guitar solos come in, they make it sound very machine-like, almost like a computer kind of thinking kind of sound kind of thing when I hear solo. So they keep the solos sound the same in this album, but something about the drums and the percussiveness of even the guitars adds the primalness adds the dichotomy a little bit more into this album to where it just clicks that much more with me. Kicks in great with kind of almost a weird stutter step, like you just fell into this album with I Am Colossus. And then the demon's name is Surveillance. For me, it was very reminiscent of Bleed. It might not be
mm.
up to the like technicality of Bleed or like the bigness of Bleed, but I feel like it's almost more catchier than Bleed. That
Okay.
it's a great song. That's what kind of suckered me into this album. Do Not Look Down. I feel like it's just makes me think of nothing. It makes me think of like this is what a Sugar song should sound like. Behind the Sun's a great one. Morrow, then also just the weird eeriness that Break Those Bones Whose Sinews Gave It Motion. And I love just the intricacy of like you can hear the pick scraping on the string as he's
Yeah.
striking it. Oh, I love it. Swarm, Demiurge. Um, this is gonna be my 10. I love this album.
That's a good fave, man. And Chaz always notes this as his favorite Meshuggah album too, man. And I think it's a good reason. I mean, it's a banger of a fucking album, man. One thing that I think is most noticeable is the production. Like they
Hmm.
definitely changed up. Like I feel like Obzen is very clear sound. It has that real, very produced sound. Whereas this, it almost seems like they kind of took it a few notches down and kind of
Hmm.
went more raw in the sound. Which I don't know. With a band like Meshuggah, man, I just feel like you can't really go wrong. So, yeah, dude, it's a fucking banger for sure.
Hell yeah. Did you give it a 9?
I gave it a flat 9, I think.
Okay. All right. Up next, what we got?
Up next, 4 years later, we have The Violent Sleep of Reason. And this album kind of falls for me. But I still really liked it. I mean, there's still parts of it that I really love. Um, I like the visuals. This is some of my favorite Meshuggah visuals. Especially, I am on the Meshuggah train at this point, when they're, building up to this release. I was all about Clockworks, which was the first single they released. Still love that song. It's got a great badass build up into an epic breakdown ride that just kind of finishes out the song. Born in Dissonance, still heavy as hell. Um, but I don't know. One song that I really don't like at all is Monstrosity. But in the song, he kind of pronounces it, "Welcome all to Monstro City." And I was just like, I kind of hated that. I didn't really want that from Meshuggah. So, and that just kind of stains the album for me, as bad as that sounds. But so I try to kind of forget about that. But they pulled out the Violent Sleep of Reason track on this tour and they played that live, so I got to see that. But I forgot how good that song is, man. It's got such a boppy like groove to it. And it's a really badass song, man. Stifled is another good one on this. But it kind of falls off in the later part of the album for me. So all in all, I think I would probably give this one a 7.8.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm glad you started off how you did because I was worried that this was like one of your top. Um, I do, I don't hate this album, but I feel like it is such a jarring difference from Kolos to this because kind of like you brought up, the Kolos is very kind of more raw sound. This one feels more machine-like, and so it's kind of an
Yeah.
opposite for me. Um, I will say though, listening to Clockworks again more recently, I am warming back up to it. I think for me, my biggest issue was the music with the music video. The music video,
Mm.
it made me hate it so much. Because I don't know if anyone's seen this music video, but it's literally, I think it's like a Mount Rushmore style or like cliff, but it's their faces. And the
It's
video
like a
is
3D like rendering of of like their faces, and you kind of like go in and out through all these weird
yeah,
fucking things. But
and it's just over and over again. You just come out of a different member's face. And I remember thinking like, this is the most repetitive music video ever. And I was like, but that's and then and I associate that repetitiveness with songs like, no, I'm good. But I will say, listening to it more recently without seeing the music video in years, I'm warming up to it. It's not fully there, but I will say I've gotten more into Clockworks. Born Dissonance, I remember liking. It has more bum dun ba-da-dun, bum ba-da-dun, bum bum. I like that kind of vibe, kind of like the falling riff kind of a sound. I kind of like. I did like By the Ton. Ivory Tower was pretty good and Stifled. But I don't know. For me, I don't understand why if you're progressing this much in your career, like things are getting better and better as years go by. And I feel like you had the perfect sound in Kolos. I don't know. This one just it felt backwards to me. So I don't know. This is gonna be a lower one for me. This is probably a 7.5 for me. It just did not
okay.
stick with me, and it felt like because when I was talking about the line between like amazing and then kind of boring, this one feels a little bit more boring to me. I do love the album artwork and even the title of it,
Yeah,
but for me, the music itself isn't really there. I get a little bit more bored with this one, so I'm probably going to give this one a 7.5.
fair enough. I'm pretty much right there with you. I mean, that's what was kind of such a letdown for me. Is like I almost feel like the art was
Mm-hmm.
kind of above the music on this one.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, man. I mean, um, but the art is just so badass. And I mean, I remember even seeing for the promotion of this album, they released like a whole mask and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
For the what's on this album of that image. I wanted to get it so bad, but then I'm just like, dude, what? Where the fuck are you gonna wear that? Like, and would you? Like, do you have the balls to go to a Meshuggah show and wear that mask? And you
It's
know,
like the people who
or
dress
is
like
it
Papa at a ghost show.
right? Yeah, or is it is it just novelty? Does it just sit on your shelf? And so I don't know. I never did it, but
Didn't
kind
they
of
do
wish
the
I did.
Snapchat
Kind
filter
of,
too?
I don't know. You know what? I think they did. I think you're right. I definitely probably played with that, but
What was your score on it
anyways,
again?
I gave it a 7.8.
There we go. All right. And
Nice.
lastly, what do we got?
Immutable came out 3 years ago, and it's a good release, man. I think that this was redemption of the latest release. I think this probably, I don't know. I assume that this probably brought some peeps back into the Meshuggah train. Um, Badass vibes, man. I love the artwork. Kind of have this embery, skeletal vibe, fire to it deal. I want to say they even released some like limited runs of a knife, the knife that's on the cover. I don't know. I think maybe not. But anyways, the tunes, I think they're solid, man. They're back to being Meshuggah, very complex, very intricate time signatures as they usually do. But badass hits on it too, man. Broken Cog, it's a journey in itself of a whole track. Um, Very slow kind of progression to it. Kicks into the Abysmal Eye, one of the first singles they dropped for it. Love that song. Light the Shortening Fuse, a really good djenty groove on that one. Phantoms, man, groovy as hell. Love that one. Ligature Marks. That song reminds me a lot of Break Those Bones, whose sinews gave it motion.
Mhm.
Love that one. That and Ligature Marks kind of have similar vibes, in my opinion. Um, a lot of good ones on here, man. I Am That Thirst, The Faultless, badass. I really, really dug this release, man. I'm gonna give this one a solid 9.
All right. I will say, this one, it like you said, this is a redeeming album. Because I felt like I had kind of bad taste in my mouth from Violent Sleep or Reason. I remember when the single Abysmal Eye came out, I was like, oh, they're back. This is awesome. And the album came out, and I started listening to Broken Cog, and it was reminding me of Clockworks, and I got very worried. Because it does kind of start very similar, but instead of screaming, it's more of like a spoken word almost throughout.
Mm,
But it is very building, and then it does kind of it goes into Abysmal Eye, which is more fast paced. The Meshuggah we love, very chugga chugga but fast. It was a good build up. I don't know how I feel about Broken Cog as a song in itself. I do think it is a good, very good building block to kind of like, if you're just walking normal through life, build that up into the awesomeness that is Abysmal Live. It's that much more of a building block. Um, Ligature Marks is a great song. One thing I was surprised because I was listening to this today while I was in throughout the day, and then also when I was home. They move below. This is an instrumental, isn't it? I want to say I listened to all of
yeah.
it, but I can't remember hearing any vocals. But I remember
Well,
loving. I find that very ballsy that a Djent style band creates an instrumental that's 9.5 minutes long, but it's
oh
still
yeah.
super awesome and intricate. I actually very enjoy this, and I don't like Djent, but I loved this. It was a 9.5 minute instrumental. I dig it. This was an awesome one. Um,
That was pretty
Kaleidoscope,
crazy.
I Am Thirst. This was a like you said, this is a very good redeeming album. I would say this album makes more sense as a bridging album from Koloss to Violent Sleep of Reason. It's there's still a little bit of Violent Sleep like with Broken Cog, very kind of similar to Clockworks, not in a bad way, but I can kind of see the thinking behind it when it comes to like the
Hmm.
structure. Um, but yeah, this was. I'm glad they came out with this because this has left a better taste in my mouth. Even though I was a little lukewarm when it came out because of Broken Cog, because I just heard it and thought this is Clockworks, Clockworks again. We're
Yeah.
not doing this again. But listening to this again is like, okay, this is actually a lot more meat on its bones. I'm probably gonna give this one an 8.7.
Nice. Okay.
What was your score on this one?
I think I gave it a 9.
Okay. So it's gonna be 17.7.
Okay, I was gonna say I was wondering if it was gonna beat Obscene or not. I was like,
No,
what?
it's not.
That's crazy.
17.7. All right. There we go. I was not expecting Catch 33 to be our number one, but
I'm not mad about that.
yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it is kind of like their most planned, thought out, so it kind of does make sense.
I know, it seems like it's the most detailed, is
Hmm.
minutely detailed album for sure. Like to write an album like that, man, I just think you have to be a fucking crazy genius. Like and Meshuggah really, I don't know how much of it is in the hands of Thomas Hake, however you say his name. But I'm pretty sure he does a majority of the writing, structuring, even vocal work. I don't, again, I know that I'm pretty sure that's how they started. I don't know how much that is if his or not still, but um, yeah, man. Um, Yeah, it's an epic album, Catch 33. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah. And as you're bringing it up, I do think what is impressive about this band, although I might not like Djent that much, I do think it is super impressive that even at an early stages, like with Contradictions Collapse and Death Improve or Erase,
Destroy,
with
Erase, Improve.
yeah, with that stuff, you can still tell they're still super in sync with each other. It's very like already kind of chromatic at that point where they are in tune. And I do, no matter what, even if it is just one person writing it, it's still super impressive that four different people can be that much in sync all the time when it comes to their music.
Yeah,
Even with
yeah, dude.
the lead singer is Jens, right?
Yes, yeah.
Even him kind of it's vocals, but even his part role in the band is percussive as well. So
Mm-hmm.
them all kind of working together in sync and having to be perfectly timed with how this band
I
is
know.
super impressive.
It is, man. And like I said early on, in their discography, I don't know about lineup changes back then, but I know that this band has been consistent since like Chaosphere and on. I don't know that they have any member changes. They may have had some touring slots, like some fill-ins here and there, but I think for the most part, man, this band has been a consistent lineup for a really long time. So, I always love to give a band props for that because keeping everyone in tune and just for years on end, it's just it's tough to do, man. But to write great music on top of that, and I mean, still be coming out with badass shit, man. It's so cool to see. I love it.
Mhm. Absolutely. So yeah, that is our Meshuggah discography. At number one with a 19.2, we have Catch 33.
Hell
Number
yeah.
two with a 19, we have Kolos. Number three, we have with an 18.9, we have Obzin. Then after that, we have Immutable 17.7, Nothing 17.2, Chaos Fear with 16, Violent Sleeper Reason with a 15.3. Then kind of a drop off. We have a 13.5, Destroy, Erase, Improve, and then another drop off with Contradictions Collapse it with a number 10.
Nice.
I'm satisfied with this. How you feel about
Yeah,
this?
I like it, man. I dig that. I was really hoping that um, I wasn't anticipating a badass Meshuggah tour this year, until I seen that they dropped it. But I was hoping that we would get a Catch 33 reunion
Ooh.
tour, man, because I think that would have been so badass.
Mm.
Just play it front to back, dude. Oh, that would have been cool as hell.
Have they ever
Because
done any
that's
kind of albums or tours like that? Because I don't feel like they have, but they should.
Yeah, and I mean, well, especially with Catch 33, it's not like you can just pull out Autonomy Lost on a
Hmm.
set list.
Yeah, it
You can't
has
just
to
play
be
that
played.
song. You have to do at least like the first three or four or something like that. So, um,
I almost wonder then. I wonder if maybe they'll do in like about 3 years, if they'll do like an Obzin one, because obviously like that is their big one.
right.
But I don't know if because I assume they probably play a long time. They could do an
Hmm.
Obzin and a Catch 33 because I feel like they could fit that in and be about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, perfect amount of time. Maybe one opener. Like that would be
Hmm.
the perfect, I think, lineup to do.
Yeah, dude. That would definitely be sick. Hell yeah. The Mighty Meshuggah. Man, I've been waiting for this day. That was fun.
Yeah. Who we gonna do next?
Ooh, who did we follow that up with? Hmm. Some bitch. Okay, you know what? I've got one in mind that we've kind of tossed around on some of the recent ones. Let me find another band to go with it, and I'll throw both at you and see what you think. Um, well, I'm not immediately finding another one. I don't know. I was thinking of Carnifex,
Okay.
and maybe because they just dropped an album and their band name also starts with a C. I don't know if it's too early to catch them in this discography, but Cytotoxin?
I'm not opposed to doing Cytotoxin because it's four. Because I don't know if we
4 or
I don't know if
5
that
or
one album
5 or
is an
6.
EP or not, but I think with that kind of discography, you would have to include it. But I would be up for doing a band with that kind of discography as well. Um, but to keep things interesting, I think I'm going to choose Carnifex. Let's do
Cool.
Carnifex.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wanting to dive into theirs as well. Because they're doing the whole run of The Hell Chose Me, it looks
Mhm.
like. So that'll be exciting. Might have to catch them on that.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Next week we'll do Carnifex.
All right, man.
I did just remember I missed the show Sunday. I've been talking about going and I ended up not going. Forgot
Oh,
all about it until I was home, but I was dead tired. Like, fuck no, I'm not going. Poison the Well and Better Lovers.
oh, where was that at?
That was in at the Granada, Lawrence.
Such a drive. Probably for
Mhm.
you too, huh?
Yeah, and I was exhausted. It was the last day of AT. It was Sunday. I actually came home and immediately just laid on the bed. I didn't get to go to sleep because I had stuff to do, but I was just
And
worn out, exhausted.
I want to say that that's probably like a 4-hour drive for me from here. So that's probably, you're looking at like 5 plus from where you're at.
Well, since I'm closer to the Kansas border, I think it's about 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, shit.
Because I
Okay.
want to say Kansas City's only 3 hours from where I'm at. Because it's
Okay.
literally
Probably
just,
just all highway.
yeah, just get on the highway, just take it straight up there. It's St. Louis. It's like 3 or 4 hours, I want to say.
Oh, so St. Louis shows are going to be iffy for you now. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit harder because it is on the other side of the state now. Because I'm
Okay.
closer to the west side of the state. But yeah,
Fair enough.
I looked at the set list. Um, Barrelers played kind of a short set list, but I'm pretty happy with their set list. A lot of good songs. Some I didn't know they would play, but I'm glad they played. Like "Love Is an Act of Rebellion," "Future Myopia." Would have
Nice.
loved to see that. I was surprised though by how long Poison the Well set list was. They played their debut album all the way through, which is like 9 songs. But then they played at least one song from almost all their albums except for the last one. And one of the songs they played a total of 17 songs set list.
Damn. That's a pretty good
That would
set,
have been
man.
awesome to see.
That's crazy.
I'm sad I
Yeah.
missed it, but c'est la vie.
Well, we got Epic Band hitting Missouri twice, not once, but twice next month. And that band is the almighty Acacia Strain.
I did
May
see that.
11th,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be at the Regency in Springfield, I think. And then the 17th, on a Saturday, they're going to be in St. Louis at Red Flag.
Yeah, I'm probably going to the Regency show. It's like 40 minutes from my house.
Nice. So I did see on their tour poster, though, Snuffed on Sight now has something written over it. I can't tell. It almost looks like another band's logo. I don't know if they got replaced with another band or if this is just a Snuffed on Sight thing and that's on their logo. It was weird. I don't know. But if you look it up, I'm sure you could see it. Actually, let me just bring it up real quick, see if I can find it. Yeah, because I thought that was interesting.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't really, and I couldn't really read it with the image that I saw.
What
See
the
if I
fuck
can
does that
find
say?
it.
Something dies.
I don't know.
Spirit dies. I can't read the last word. Your spirit dies.
Yeah, so are they replaced, I guess, or
Well, if they replaced, why would they leave them on there though? And
I
there's
know, that's what's so confusing.
and so there's the full tour because the name of the tour is "It Can Always Get Worse." It has all the dates, and on
Mhm.
that one, their name isn't fucked with.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like an album of theirs. Maybe they're just throwing that on there saying they're playing it all the way through. I don't know.
Hmm.
Kind of confusing.
Well, now there's a newer one that has that same thing, but then the stuff's on the name. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know
Yeah.
stuff on site well enough to know what's going on with.
I don't either.
Oh, I feel like there's certain level of shade intended when it comes to plastering another logo over a drop band's. Oh,
Oh, is there some controversy here?
oh, I guess they
S-
did, and for some reason, instead of just removing their name, they just.
Oh, shit. Wow. So this is a red alert late metal news for all those listening. So Acacia Strain said F you to Snuffed on Sight and just added a band here?
I don't even know. I don't know. So someone said their drummer left and they couldn't find a replacement.
Oh. Probably not as juicy as built that up to be.
What's that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Oh, I just said probably not as juicy as I talked that up to be.
Well, I just find it weird that if a band drops off, that you just put another logo on top of it.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Definitely weird.
there's a lot of shows coming up soon. I didn't realize the Trivium Bullet for My Valentine's coming to Missouri so soon as well. I want to say this month.
Oh, shit.
Then
Damn.
also at the Regency, Delware's Prada and some bands I don't give a shit about are coming. But it's Springfield, so it's right there, so I'm debating on it. Pentagram is coming. Acacia Strain. Yeah, there's a lot coming up really soon. We're in tour season. Tours are coming.
Yeah, man, they are. Don't miss them. I'm going to have to, I think I got to see Acacia Strain somehow, dude. I just don't know what date I want to go to.
I think either way, I mean, obviously, I'm just going to go to the Regency show. It's on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have
I
no
might have
reason
to
to not
join you
go.
then. Yeah. It'll see. Actually, you know what? That's right by Mother's Day. That's not Mother's Day, is it?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That might hinder us. Let me
Fuck.
check.
I think you're right.
Mother's Day 2025. Sunday, May 11th.
God damn it.
Oh, it's crushing. Damn. Come on, Acacia Strain. You know you got some daddies out there as your fans. Can't be doing that to
Well,
us
you
now.
know what? There's also a Little Rock date, which is Monday. It's a fucking Monday.
Yeah, that sucks. That's a predicament.
So it's either I cause some strife in my house and drive 45 minutes, or the next day drive 4 hours to Little Rock, or wait a couple weeks and drive about 3 to 4 hours to St. Louis.
Yeah.
I have some choices.
Yep. Got options. We can't bitch that they didn't give us options because they definitely did on this one.
Yeah.
They're showing the Midwest some love, which is
Mhm.
cool, man. It seems like a short tour, and they're hitting Missouri not once but twice. That's fucking awesome. Usually
Yeah.
don't see that.
Yeah. Always appreciative when bands do that. I remember Cannibal Corpse did that with a St. Louis and a Columbia show. That was nice.
That is cool, yeah. Oh yeah.
Although I know a bunch of Kansas City people were bitching that they didn't get a date.
Oh my
Suck it,
gosh,
Kansas
come on.
City.
Yeah. Fucking drive.
We
Yeah,
drive
they
all the
always
time to
get
you
shit.
guys. You guys can drive to Tacoma.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Are you ready to plug away?
Yeah, plug it.
Well, so if you enjoyed this podcast, you can check us out on Spotify. You can give us a like and subscribe. You can leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. 5 stars preferred, but whatever star you honestly feel about our podcast, you go ahead and give us and let us know. You can also check us out on TikTok. You can also check us out on YouTube. Also, I'm in the works. I've already built it. Give me some time. I'm going to make it a little bit better, but I've also built us a Discord server for offline
shit.
activities. So if you guys want to just send us straight some album recommendations, talk amongst fans, you can do that. I'll send the link once I feel it's prepared. It's not right now. Right now, it's just a name, but I'll get that out there to you guys at some point. But you can also
Nice.
check us out on anywhere you get your podcasts at. And you can also, if you want to just talk to us directly, in the meantime, you can message us at deathmetaldaddies@gmail.com. But until then, see you next week. Death Metal Daddies out.
Bye-bye.
Metal Daddies.
I can see. Your shorts are pretty tight.